Okay, so question 1 was as follows. Simplify 2y minus 3 open bracket x minus 4 close bracket minus y. So you need to simplify this. You need to write it in the simplest form. So what you're going to do is, first you are going to write this expression down here. Okay, once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the brackets. So I'm going to write 2y, then I'm going to multiply every number in the bracket by negative 3, which is going to be negative 3 multiplied by x, which will be 3x. Then negative 3 multiplied by 4 will give us positive 12. And then I'm going to write negative y at the end there. Okay, so when I multiply, negative 3 by x will give me negative 3x. Negative 3 by negative 4 will give me 12. Then the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to put like terms together. So as you can see, 2y they are like terms with negative y. So I'm going to write 2y minus y minus 3x plus 12. Okay, I've put the like terms together. So now I'm going to work out 2y minus y, which will give me y, then which will be equal to, which will be minus 3x plus 12. Okay, now again I'm going to check whether I've got like terms here. Now as we can see, all of us, there are no like terms here. There is no number with the same variable or any number without a variable, so that we can put it together with 12. So at this stage, that means we have solved the question completely. We have simplified the expression completely. Okay, so the answer here, the examiners were looking for, is it's y minus 3x plus 12. That was the correct answer. Okay, let's go to question number 2. Question number 2 was evaluate negative 3 squared plus 3 squared. Evaluate negative 3 squared plus 3 squared. So this is the question that came on question 2. So what you need to do is we're going to write the expression, then we are going to multiply. So what you need to know is you need to understand that when negative 3 is raised to the power of 2 and the negative sign is not squared, only 3 is squared. So we are going to expand this so that you understand well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write a negative sign there, which is going to be outside the brackets. Then I'm going to find the value of 9, okay, of the value of 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9. Then I'm going to say plus, then plus 3 multiplied by 3. So I've expanded those expressions. Now you can see the negative sign is outside. Then I'm going to work out what is in the bracket. Then I'm going to say 3 multiplied by 3 will give me 9, so it will be negative. Then I'm going to say 3 multiplied by 3 will give me 9, then which is plus 3 by 3 will give me 9 as well. So now I can come up with, I've come up with negative 9 plus 9. Okay, once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to find the value of negative 9 plus 9. Now as you can see, when we say which one is bigger between 9 and 9, we find that they are the same. So which means they are equalizing each other. So which means negative 9 plus 9 will give us 0. Okay, so when we evaluate negative 3 raised to the power of 2 plus 3 raised to the power of 2, we are going to get the answer which is 0. So the answer there is 0, and that was the answer which examiners were expecting from students, which is 0. Okay, let's go to question number 3. Okay, question 3 was solve the equation open bracket 2x minus 5 close bracket open bracket x plus 3 close bracket is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the equation students were asked to solve. So how do you solve this equation? Okay, so first I'm going to rewrite the equation down here. Okay, so one thing I want you to understand is when you see these expressions in brackets and in between there is nothing, you should know that here we are multiplying the two expressions, the products or the difference and the sum you get, you should multiply them. Okay, now the other thing you should also remember is that if you are multiplying two numbers and the answer is 0, that means that one number is a 0. One number is 0. If you are multiplying two numbers and the answer is 0, you should know that one number is 0. So in this case, either 2x minus 5 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so now we need to find the value of x. Now let's take, for instance, if 2x minus 5 is equal to 0, then what's the value of x? So we're going to write this expression where we're saying if 2x minus 5 is equal to 0, then what's the value of x? So what I'm going to do now, once I've written that, then I'm going to put the like terms together, which is going to be 2x is equal to 0 plus 5. 0 plus 5. Okay, then I'm going to write 2x then is equal to 5, because when you add 0 to 5, we are going to get the answer, which is 5. Okay, once we have done that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to divide. We want to remain with x. We want to find the value of x, so we want to remain with x on one side of the equal sign. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. Okay, so we're going to say 2x divided by 2. Okay, so which means the 2's there will cancel each other. So 2 there on top and 2 down here will cancel each other. Then we're going to remain with x. So 2x divided by 2 will give us x. Then when we try to divide that, you can see that when we divide 5 by 2 give us the answer, which is going to have a decimal number. It's going to be a decimal number. So we are going to leave it as a fraction just like that, which is 5 over 2. Okay, or better still, we can come up with a mixed fraction. The answer will remain a fraction, but this time we can convert this improper fraction into mixed fraction, which is going to be 2 1 over 2. Okay, so the value of x can either be 5 over 2. If you want to convert it to a mixed fraction, you can also write it as 2 1 over 2. Okay, so that is the value of x when 2x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, now let's also try if x plus 3 is equal to 0. Let's take that x plus 3 is equal to 0. What will be the value of x? Okay, so we can write x plus 3 is equal to 0. Then we are going to find the value of x. So we're going to put like terms together. So we're going to have x is equal to 0. Now the 3 will close the equal sign, or we are going to add, we are going to find the additive inverse of positive 3, which is negative 3. So we're going to have negative 3 there. So the 3 will close the equal sign and becomes a negative 3, which is going to be x is equal to 0 plus negative 3, or 0 minus 3, which is going to give us negative 3. Okay, that's the answer. So when x plus 3 is equal to 0, then the value of x will be negative 3. Okay, so now these are the answers. So the answers the examiners were looking for from you students was x is equal to 2 1 over 3 or x is equal to negative 3. Okay, so it's advisable that even if you have 5 over 2, you can go further and write that fraction into mixed fraction. Okay, if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, let's go to question number 4. Okay, question 4 was as follows. Use the set notation to describe the shaded part in the Venn diagram below. Use the set notation to describe the shaded part in the Venn diagram below. So here what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Venn diagram. So for us to write the set notation correctly, first we're going to ask ourselves the first question, which is there any set that is completely shaded? Okay, if we can identify any set that is completely shaded, then we can write the letter of that set. So when you look at this Venn diagram, the only set that is completely shaded is A. So we're going to write A there. Okay, once we've done that, then we can ask ourselves, is there any other? No, the only set which is completely shaded is A. Then we can come now to, is there any part that is in another set that is shaded? Okay, so when you look at that, all the other parts, when you look at the intersection parts, you see that we have got 3 parts that belongs to A that are shaded, so we can't consider those. The only part which is the intersection part that is shaded is the one which is B intersection C. B intersection C, this part where I've painted with a blue. That's the part which is shaded, and that one is for B intersection C. So we're going to write, first we'll leave a space in between A and B. So we're going to write B and B intersection C. Okay, so we have got B intersection C, that is the part which is shaded with the blue. Then what it means there to, we are saying we write now what symbol we're going to put which is going to connect A, set A and B intersection C. The symbol put there is union symbol. Okay, so we're saying A union B intersection C. So that is the correct answer, A union B intersection C. Okay, so that is the correct answer. Okay, question 5 is, find the equation of a straight line passing through the points 3, 4 and 7, 12. Okay, so to find the equation of a straight line, first we're going to find the gradient, which is the slope of the line. So to find the gradient of a straight line, we use this formula, which is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so that is the formula we use. Now what we're going to do is, now we're going to identify which point is y2, so, and which one is y1 and which one is x2 and which one is x1. So we are going to go to the points given. So we have got 3, 4. 3 in that is x1 and 4 in that is y1 and 7 in there in the other point is x2 and 12 is y2. Okay, so those are the values of y2 and y1. So we are going to get, where there is y2 are going to get 12, so we're going to write 12, which is y2 there, minus y1, which is 4, and then we are going to say divide by, then x2 is 7 minus x1, which is 3. Okay, then when you subtract 12 minus 4 give us 8, then 7 minus 3 will give us 4. Okay, then we're going to say 8 divided by 4 will give us 2. So the gradient of that straight line is 2. That's the slope of that straight line is 2. That's a gradient. Okay, once we found that, now we can come to the equation. So the formula for the equation of a straight line is y is equal to gradient x plus b. B, this is the intercept where the line is crossing the x-axis, so that is the intercept. So now let's see what we have. Now we have got the gradient, which is 2. So where there is m, we're going to put 2, so we can write it as y is equal to, so where there is m, which is a gradient, we are going to put the value of found, which is 2. Then we are going to say 2, then x, which is going to be 2x, then plus. Okay, so plus b, that is the intercept point. Now we don't have that, that means we're going to just write plus b. Okay, we're trying to come up with the equation of a straight line which is passing through 3,4 and 7,12. So we don't have b. So how can we find b? So I'm going to show you how you find the value of b, which is the intercept. So to find the intercept, we're going to get the equation we've come up with, which is y is equal to 2x plus b. Okay, like that. Okay, once we have done that, then the next thing we're going to do is now we are going to replace y and x by the points given. So we can either use the first coordinates, which is 3 and 4, or the second one. Both of them, they are going to give you the same answer. So we're going to use the first one, which is 3 and 4. So we're going to put where there is y, we are going to put 4. Okay, I'm using the set of x1 and xy. So where there is y, I'm going to put 4, and then I'm going to write equal to 2. Then where there is x, I'm going to put 3. I'm getting x1, so I'm going to put 3 there, which is 2 multiplied by 3 plus c b. Okay, then I'm going to write 4. Then I'm going to multiply 2 by 3 will give me 6 plus b. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to put the like terms together. Remember, I want to find the value of b. So I'm going to put like terms together. That means 6 will close the equal sign, will go to the side where there is 4. So I'm going to write 4, then minus, so 4 minus 6. Now here you can say, yeah, the 6 is crossing the equal sign, or you can say the additive inverse of 6, which is minus 6. Okay, which is equal to b. Okay, then when you work out 4 minus 6 will give us negative 2, which is equal to b. Okay, so the value of b is negative 2. That is the intercept in that scenario. So we're going to say y is equal to 2x. Now where there is b, I'm going to put minus. So I'm going to say plus minus 2, plus minus 2. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to write y is equal to 2x. Then when I say positive 1 multiplied by negative 2, or positive multiplied by negative will give us a negative. Okay, so which is going to be negative 2. So positive 1 multiplied by 2, or positive multiplied by negative 2 will give us negative 2. Okay, now that is the equation of a straight line passing through the points 3,4 and 7,12. So that is the equation. So if you found this equation in an exam, the examiners will mark your answers correct. So this is the correct answer for question 5. Let's go to question 6. Okay, question number 6 was factorize, or please, where it's written factors, it should be factorize completely 3x cubic minus 12xy squared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that expression down here. Okay, once I've written that, then I'm going to look for a factor that can go into 3x cubic and 12xy. Okay, so first I'll start with the numbers, the coefficients, which is the number that can go into 3 and 12 is 3 itself. And then next I'm going to ask myself to say what variables are in both. X is in both. So in 12 there is only 1x, so which are going to use 1x, so we're going to have 3x. Okay, then after that we're going to divide 3x cubic minus divide by 3x. Okay, 3x cubic divided by 3x, which is going to give us x squared. Then I'm also going to divide 12x y squared by 3x, which is going to give us 4y squared. Okay, so as you can see, the two terms in the brackets are raised to the power of 2. That means we can further factorize the x squared minus 4y squared. Okay, so I'm going to write 3x. Then I'm going to say what is the square root of x squared is x, so we're going to write x. then minus, what is the square root of 4 is 2. Then I'm going to write minus. Now remember here, I'm going to write minus, but in the other bracket, I will put plus. Okay, so, and what is the square root of y squared is y. So that's the first bracket. Then I'm going to open bracket. Then I'm going to say, what is the square root of x squared is x. And then this time, what is the square root of 4 is 2. This time I'm going to write plus 2. Then what is the square root of y, which is, well, the square root of y squared is y. Okay, therefore I've factorized the expression, which is x cubic or 3x cubic minus 12xy squared to 3x open bracket x minus 2y close bracket x plus 2y close bracket. So this is the answer that was expected. Now remember, the question should be number 6, and it should read as factorize completely 3x cubic minus 12xy squared. Okay, let's go to question number 7. Okay, so question 7 had 2 questions. There was question A and question B. So let's start with question A, 7A. Matrix M is equal to -2, 3, 4, -2. Find the transpose of M. Find the transpose of M. So what we're going to do is we're going to write the symbol for transpose of M, which is MT, okay, which is equal to. So now what we do here is we're going to open the brackets, then we're going to swap. The columns will become rows and the rows will become columns. Okay, so we're going to swap. So what we are going to do is we're going to write 2. Okay, then the 4 will go on top where 3 is. So we're going to remove 3 there and put 4 there. Okay, once we have done that, then we're going to write, now we're going also to change the column, which is the second column will become the second row. So we're going to write 3 down here where there was 4. Then we're going to write -2 and then close bracket. So this is the transpose of matrix M. So we have swapped the columns to become rows. Okay, now let's come to question 7B. Question 7B was matrix P is equal to 2, -1, 0, 3, and Q is equal to -1, 3. So, and then the question is find PQ. Okay, matrix P is equal to 2, -1, 0, 3, and Q is equal to -1, 3. Find PQ. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write PQ here, which is equal to, then I'm going to multiply these matrices. So I'm going to write matrix P first. Okay, then multiplied by matrix Q. Okay, so these are the 2 matrices we are multiplying, and I've written, then I'm going to say equal to open bracket. Now what you need to understand is that when you are multiplying matrices, you multiply row by column, row by column. So that means we're going to multiply 2 by -1. Okay, 2 by -1. Now -1 is coming from the from matrix Q. Okay, not that -1 which is in matrix P, but the negative which is in matrix Q. Okay, then we're going to multiply -1 in matrix P by 3 in matrix Q. Okay, so we are going to add those products. Okay, if you don't know how to multiply matrices, check on our playlist, which is called matrices. You're going to find a video where we demonstrated on how to multiply matrices. Okay, then we're going to come on to the row which is down. So the row which is down in matrix P, which is 0, 3, we are going to multiply by the column in matrix Q. Okay, 0 will be multiplied by -1, which will be added to 3 by 3. We're going to multiply 3 by 3. Okay, then we're going to close bracket. Then now next we're going to find the products of these expression we have written in small brackets. So which is 2 times -1 will give us -. Okay, first let me open the bracket. 2 times -1 will give us -2. Okay, then plus negative 1 multiplied by 3 will give us negative 3. Okay, then we come down here, 0 multiplied by negative 1 will give us 0. Then plus 3 multiplied by 3 will give us 9. Okay, and then close bracket. Those are the products we have gotten. Then we're going to say equal to. Then I'm going to open bracket. Once I've done that, then I'm going to add negative 2 plus negative 1. Now remember, a positive following a negative will result in 2 being a negative. So it's more or less like positive 1 multiplied by negative 3, which will give us negative 3. So we can even convert that expression to that, which is negative 2 minus 3. Okay, which will give us negative 5. 0 plus 9 will give us 9. Then we are going to close the bracket. So that is the product of PQ. Okay, that's a product of matrices PQ. Okay, once we have done that, that is now, those are the two final answers we are supposed to write on your answer sheet. So the answer for transpose of M is that matrix. Okay, and the answer for PQ is this one here. Okay, so these are the answers in red you are supposed to write. Okay, let's go to question number 8. Well, so there was question 8a and question 8b. So question 8a reads as follows. It is given that the universal set E is equal to first 8 whole numbers and set A is equal to even numbers least set A. Okay, so first you need to understand what whole numbers are and what even numbers are. So let's start with whole numbers. Whole numbers, these are counting numbers including 0. So these are counting numbers including 0. So when you start counting, we start 1, 2, up to whatever. So those numbers including what? 0. Okay, then the first 8 whole numbers are these. Okay, the first 8 whole numbers are these. Now be careful that you don't include 8, because immediately you write 8 as well, that means the numbers are 9. Okay, so if you count from 0, you find that when you reach 8, there will be 8 numbers. So these are the first 8 whole numbers. These are the first 8 whole numbers. Now from this, we need to come up with set A. Now set A, we are told that it's a set of even numbers. So what we're going to do is, we are going to find even numbers from this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write set A, then open brackets. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to write the first even number, which is 0. Then the second one is 2. Now remember, even numbers, these are numbers that are divisible by 2. Even numbers, these are numbers that are divisible by 2. So the third one is 4. And the fourth one is 6. Okay, these are the numbers that are found in this universal set that are divisible by 2. So set A is equal to 0, 2, 4, 6. Okay, all right, now we go to question B, which is a certain company sells shares at 1.3 per share. A businesswoman had 9,100 kwacha to buy shares. How many shares did she buy? So what we need to do here is simple. We just need to divide the amount the businesswoman had by the cost of one share. So we can say 9,100 divided by, that should be 1.3 kwacha. Okay, 9,100 divided by 1.3 kwacha. So when you divide that, if you're allowed to go in with a calculator solely in the exam, you can just punch in these numbers in your calculator, and then they'll give you the answer. So the answer, the shares the businesswoman bought were 7,000 shares. So the businesswoman bought 7,000 shares in 9,100 kwacha when the shares were sold at 1.3 kwacha. Okay, so these were the answers examiners were expecting from you. Let's go to question number 9. Okay, question 9. Question 9 reads as, the third and fourth terms of arithmetic progression are 6 and 3 respectively. Find the A, first term, B, formula for the nth term. Okay, so we're going to start with A, which is we should find the first term. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the formula we use to find the term. Okay, so the formula is Tn is equal to A plus open bracket n minus 1 close bracket d. So A in this formula, A stands for the first term, whatever first term you are given, so will be put where there is A. Then N stands for the position of the term you want to find. Then D, that is the common difference. Tn stands for the term that occupies the nth position. Okay, so in our question we are given the position and the term which is on that position that is given. So as you can see, third position is occupied by 6 and fourth position is occupied by 3. Okay, that's why you can see the word respectively there. It's saying in that order. Okay, so third is coming first before fourth. That means third will pick the first number being mentioned, which is 6, and 3 will be gotten by fourth. Okay, 3 will be on fourth position. So I'm going to replace the variables that are given, the values that are given with the variables that are in the formula. Okay, so here I'm going to start with the first variables that are given, which is third and 6. I'm going to replace them in this formula. So we are given 6, which is the term. So the term which is on third position is 6. So we're going to write 6 there. Then are we given the first term in the arithmetic progression? No, we are not given. So I'm going to write A. Then are we given the position of the term 6? Yes, it is on third. So we're going to write 3 there. Then which will be minus 1. Then close bracket. Are we given the common difference? No, we are not given. So I'm going to write D. Okay, now next I'm going to deal with the numbers in brackets. So I'm going to subtract 3 minus 1 first. So I'm going to write 6A, then I'm going to subtract 3 minus 1 will give us 2. So I'm going to put 2 there, which will be multiplied by D. Okay, once I've done that, now you can see I haven't dealt with the brackets completely. So I'm going to write 6A plus, then when I multiply 2 by D, it's going to give me 2D. Okay, here as you can see, they are not like terms, so it's not easier for us to even add A plus 2D. These are not like terms, so we can't add them. So what we're going to do is we will leave the equation just like that. Okay, now once we've done that, we are not yet done. We should also find the formula. We should simplify the formula of fourth and the fourth position, the number which is on the fourth position. So what we're going to do, I'm going to write again the formula like that. Then once I've done that, then I'm going to replace those letters. Now this time I'm going to replace those numbers, which is fourth and 3. Fourth and 3 in that equation. First, in the first expression, I used third and 6. Now this time I'm going to use fourth and 3. Okay, so where there is Tn, I'm going to put 3 because that's the number which you are given. That's a term which is given. That's a term given. Then we are not given the first term, so I'm going to write A. Then are we given the position for 3? Yes, it's fourth. So we're going to write open bracket 4, which will be minus 1. Then we're going to close bracket. Are we given common difference? No. So we are not given common difference. Okay. Once we're done, then we can distribute D just like we did. So I'm going to write 3A. Then we subtract before we distribute d, we are going to subtract. 4 minus 1 will give us 3, then which will be multiplied by d. Then we're going to write 3. 3 is equal to a plus, then 3 times d will give us 3d. Okay, so now here we have come up with the two equations that we cannot simplify further. So this is the equation I'm talking about, and this one. Okay, now we are going to solve for a and d using simultaneous equation. We're going to we're going to solve for a and d using simultaneous equation. So these two equations will be put together. Now note, I'm going to move 6 to the right side of the equation and 3 to the right side of the equation, so that we have the normal simultaneous equation. So what I mean, I'm going to write like this. So I've started with the equation down, which is 3 is equal to a plus 3d. So now I've written a plus 3d is equal to 3. Okay, it has got the same value. It's only that I have shifted the equal sign to the left, to the right side. This is what we usually do when we are calculating simultaneous equation. Basically, this is what we do. But even if I got them the way they are, it would have been solved and the answer could have been the same. The only problem is that you could have gotten confused. So I've just shifted the equal sign. Okay, same thing will happen to 6 is equal to a plus 2d. So it's going to be a plus 2d is equal to 6. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to say, then I'm going, now, since you have seen we have got the positive signs there, a plus and a plus, so we're going to subtract, which is going to be minus. So you can see a there, they are cancelling themselves out, because a minus a is equal to 0. Then 3d minus 2d will give us d. Then 3 minus 6 will give us negative 3. So negative 3 is the value of d. So that's a common difference. Is C, negative 3. Now once we've done that, now we need to solve for a, which is the first term. Okay, remember this is the first term because a stands for the first term. So what we're going to do is we're going to get one equation. I'm going to get the equation which is down, which is a plus 2d is equal to 6. You can pick any. Both of them, they'll give you the same answer. Okay, so a plus 2d is equal to 6. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace d by the value we got, which is negative 3. So I'm going to write a plus 2, then multiply by negative 3, which is equal to 6. Then I'm going to deal with a bracket. So I'm going to say a plus, so when we multiply, positive 2 times 3 will give us negative 6, which is equal to 6. Okay, now I'm going to put like terms together. That means 6 will close the equal sign and come to the right side of the equal sign, which is going to be positive. So I'm going to write a is equal to 6. Then when 6 crosses the equal sign, it's going to become plus 6. Okay, that will give us a is equal to 6 plus 6 will give us 12. Okay, so the value of a is 12. That means the first term in this arithmetic progression is 12. So the first term in this arithmetic progression is 12. Okay, if you have got questions, please you can ask them in the comment section. I'll be glad to respond. B. Okay, let's come to B. So B, I've got formula for the question B is find the formula for the nth term. Okay, so again we're going to get a formula which we use to find the nth term, which is that one, Tn is equal to a plus c n minus 1 multiplied by d. Okay, so now we don't know the Tn, the value of Tn, so we're going to write Tn. Then we know the first term, so where there is a, we're going to replace it with 12. So we're going to write Tn is equal to, so where there is a, we're going to put 12 because a stands for the first term. So the first term is 12. Then we are going to open bracket. We're going to open bracket and write n minus 1. Do we know the common difference? Do we know the value of d? Yes, we found the value of d, which is -3. So I'm going to write multiply by -3. Then I'm going to deal with the brackets. That means I'm going to distribute -3 into those elements in the brackets. So I'm going to say Tn is equal to 12. Then I'm going to say -3 times n will give us -3n. Then -3 times -1 will give us +3. Then I'm going to correct like terms together there. Then I'm going to write Tn is equal to then 12. Then I'll bring 3 closer to 12 because 3 and 12 are like terms. So I'm going to bring 3 there, which is going to be 12 plus 3 minus 3n. Then I'm going to evaluate 12 plus 3, which is going to give me 15. So Tn is going to be 12 plus 3 will give me 15, which will be minus 3n. Okay, so the formula for the nth term in that arithmetic progression is 15 minus 3n. Okay, so Tn is equal to 15 minus 3. So the formula for the nth term is Tn is equal to 15 minus 3n. Okay, let's go to question number 10. Question 10a was as follows. The possibility of getting a black button from a box is 2/9. Find the possibility of getting a button which is not black. Okay, so we want to find the probability of finding a button which is not black. So what we're going to do is, since we are given the probability of getting a black button, so we are going to add the probability of getting a black button plus the probability of getting a button which is not black, which should give us 1. Okay, so we have a chance of getting a black button or not a black button, and together the probability of these two is 1. We are going to come out with 1 button, either black or not black. That's why we have put 1 at the end there. So now here we are going to replace the probability of black with its value, which is 2/9 plus the probability of getting a button which is not black, so which is plus, we don't know the probability of getting a button which is not black, so we're going to say plus that is, which is equal to 1. Okay, once we've written like this, we need to put like terms together. So we're going to have probability of getting a button which is not black is equal to 1. Then since the fraction 2/9 is crossing the equal sign, it's going to be minus 2/9. Okay, so now at this stage, what we can do is now we make 1 as a fraction but without 1 losing its value. We make 1 as a fraction but without 1 losing its value. So we're going to divide, we're going to write 1/1. Okay, so the value of 1 is maintained, however we have made it as a fraction. Once we've done that, then we're going to write probability of getting a button which is not black is equal to, then first we're going to find the common lowest multiple of 1 and 9. So the common lowest multiple of 1 and 9 is 9 itself, so it's 9. Okay, 1 can go into 9 and 9 can go into 9. Okay, once we've done that, then we're going to ask ourselves, how many times can 1 go into 9? Okay, first we're going to open bracket and write 1, which is a numerator there on the fraction, which is 1/1. Then we're going to ask ourselves, how many times can 1, now we're talking about 1 which is a denominator, go into 9? We are saying it can go 9 times, so we're going to say multiply by 9, which we are going to subtract. Then we're going to ask ourselves again to say, how many times can 9 which is a denominator of the fraction where there is 2 over 9. Okay, how many times can 9 go into 9? It will be 1. So first we're going to write 2, then multiply by 1, which is the quotient of 9 divided by 9. So you're asking yourself to say how many times can 9, which is a denominator in a fraction which is 2 over 9, can go into this 9 we have chosen as a lowest common multiple of 1 and 9. It's 1 time. Okay, once we have written like that, then we can write probability of not getting a black button is equal to, then we multiply. First we write the common denominator, which is 9, then we multiply 1 by 9 will give us 9, which will be minus 2 by 1, which will give us 2. Okay, once we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to write probability of not getting a black button is equal to, then we're going to say over 9, we're going to write the denominator because 9 will be maintained, then we subtract 9 minus 2 will give us 7. So the probability of getting a button which is not black is 7 over 9. That is the probability of getting a button which is not black. Let's go to question number 10b. Question 10b was, the diagram below shows a sector AOB with the center at O and radius 21 centimeter. The angle subtended at the center is theta, and the area of the sector is 462 centimeter squared. As you can see, that is the sector, and the question is calculate the value of theta. Take pi to be 22 over 7. Okay, so this was the question. So what we need to do is first we need to write the formula of finding the area of the sector of a circle. So the area of the sector of the circle is area is equal to x over 360 degrees, where there is x, that is theta. So unfortunately I don't have a symbol theta with this application I'm using, so I've just represented it with x. So you can either, even in an exam, you can either use the letter, you can use any symbol to represent theta, or you can use the theta symbol there. Okay, now that is a fraction of the entire circle, which is we come up with a fraction which is the degrees given over the entire degrees of the circle, which is 360 multiplied by pi times radius squared. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to to replace these letters and symbols by their values. So we're going to be looking at the question given as well as the symbol given. So as you can see in the statement, we are given the area, which is 462 centimeter squared, which is equal to we haven't given the angle of the sector, so we are going to put x over 360 degrees, which will be multiplied by the radius. Now you can see that the radius is raised to the power of 2, so it's going to be and in the diagram there and in the statement we are given that radius is equal to 21 centimeter, so we're going to multiply by 21 centimeter. Okay, first let me put the value of pi, which is 22 over 7. Then we're going to multiply by the radius, which is multiplied by 21 centimeter squared. Okay, once we have done that, then we're going to now, first of all, we need to simplify numbers here. So which means I'm going to expand 21 centimeter squared to 21 centimeter multiplied by 21 centimeter. I've just expanded that one. Okay, so that it can be easier for us to simplify. So now in this case I want to get rid of fractions, so I'll try by all means to simplify where it's possible so that I get rid of fractions. So as you can see, we can start from the left going to the right. Now we're going to start with the immediately after the equal sign, we can look at the x over 360. Now 360, which number has got a common factor with the 360? It is 22, which is 2. So 2 into 360 will give us 180 degrees. 2 into 22 will give us 11. Then we can also see that we have got a denominator which is 7 there. As you can see, 180, yes, has got a common factor which is 3 with 21, but I want also to get rid of 7, so I'm going to say 7 into 7, it's 1. 7 into 21 centimeter, it is 3 centimeter. Okay, then as you can see, 3 can also go into 300 or into 180. So I'm going to divide 180 by 3, will give me 60 degrees. 3 centimeter divided by 3 will give me 1 centimeter. Okay, then I'm going to go to look for another a pair of numbers that have got a common factor. So you can see 60 and 21, they also have got common factor, which is 3. Now here you need to pay attention how I'm doing it, because if you just make a mistake here, that means the answer won't be correct, or even the units won't be correct. As you can see there, I've written 1 centimeter. I'm maintaining the centimeter unit because it is very important to do that. Okay, then 3 into 60, 3 into 60, it will give us 20 degrees. Then 3 into 21 centimeter, it will give us 7 centimeter. Okay, now once I've simplified, I can look for any pair that has got a common factor. Now as you can see here, we're on the denominator side, we are remaining with 20 degrees and 1. So 11 do not have common factor with 20, and 1 which is they have a common factor which is 1, but we can't use it. 7 and 20, they have no common factor apart from 1, so we cannot further simplify this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything that is remaining here where I've circled everything that is remaining there. I'm going to write them down. So when we start from the left, we have got 462 centimeter remaining. So we are going to write that, which is centimeter squared, not just centimeter, but centimeter squared, which is going to be equal to there where there is x. We have got x over 20, so we're going to write x over 20, which will be multiplied by. So when you say 11 over 1, so we can say 1 into 11, it's 11. We are going to multiply by 11, then which will be multiplied by 1 centimeter, which is going to be multiplied by 7 centimeter. As you can see, I'm maintaining 1 centimeter because of the units. Okay, I want to keep that unit. Okay, then I'm going to now multiply, work out this which is on the left side of the equal sign. So I'm going to multiply x multiplied by 11 will give me 11x. 11x multiplied by 1 centimeter, it's going to give me 11 centimeter x, which will be multiplied by 7 centimeter, which is going to give me 77 centimeter squared x. Okay, so I'm going to write 77 centimeter x squared, which will be over 20 degrees. Okay, now I need to get rid of the fraction like I said earlier on, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 20. So I'm going to multiply by 20 this side and also by 20 this side. Then once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to do the actual multiplication. So when I multiply 20 by 77 centimeter x over 20 degrees, it's going to 20s, they are going to cancel each other out. So I'm going to remain with 77. I'm going to remain with 20 degrees multiplied by 462 centimeter, which is equal to 77 centimeter squared x. Okay, once I've remained with that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 77 centimeter squared. Okay, I'm going to divide both sides by 77 centimeter squared because I want to remain with the x. So I'm going to say divide by 77 centimeters squared, and the other side 77 centimeters squared. Okay, I'm sure you know this. Whatever you do to the left side or right side of the equal sign, you also do to the right side. So since I did it on the right side, I also do it on the left side. Okay, so once I've done that, then I'm going to divide 77 centimeters squared x divide by 77 centimeter. That means 77 centimeters squared will cancel each other there and will give us the quotient, which is x. Okay, so when you divide 77 centimeters squared x divided by 77 centimeters squared, it will give us x. Then I'm also going to divide this side, 77 centimeter, it will be 1. 77 centimeter into 462 centimeters squared, it's going to give us 6. Okay, so we have been given 6. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write what is remaining on the left side. As you can see on the left side, we are remaining with 20 degrees multiplied by 6, which is going to be like that. Then we're going to say 20 multiplied by 20 degrees multiplied by 6, which will give us 120 degrees. So we're going to say x is equal to 120 degrees. Okay, so that was the answer, or that was the value of theta. So there in the diagram on the shape there, we can put 120 degrees as the value of theta. Okay, now let's go to question number 11. Okay, question 11 was as follows. The position of 3 towns A, B, and C on the Earth's surface are shown in the diagram below. So you need to start the diagram. So that's a diagram. You can take note of the north and the south pole. Then you can also take note of the position of towns A, B, and C, as well as the 25-degree west and X, as well as 0 degree there. Okay, if you have done so, then we can go to question 11A, which is a plane flying a distance of 4,500 nautical miles directly from town A to town B takes 5 hours. Find the speed of the plane in knots. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the usual formula of speed, which is speed is equal to distance over time. Okay, distance divided by time. So first we are going to write equal to, then what's the value of distance? What distance did the plane cover? It covered a distance of 4,500 nautical miles, which is going to be divided by the time it took. So we're going to say over, and it took how long to cover 4,500 nautical miles? It was 5 hours. So I'm going to divide that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 5 by 5, which will mean that it's going to cancel itself. Then 4,500, I'm going to ignore first the zeros. Then I'm going to concentrate on 45. More or less like 5 into 4, it can't. Then we bring 5 into 4, it becomes 45. Then we say 5 into 45, then it's going to go 9 times. Okay, now as you can see, I haven't used zeros, so which means on top there I'm remaining with 900. So if we say 1 into 900, it's going to give us 900. Okay, the one that came from 5 divided by 5 will give us 1. Okay, so 1 into 900, it will give us 900. So when we go back to the question, they are saying find the speed of the plane in knots. So the answer will be 900 knots. Okay, so this was the correct answer. So the correct answer was 900 knots. Okay, we can go to question number 11B. Okay, now we answer question 11B. Okay, so I presume you looked at this diagram like I said earlier on. So now let's go to question B, which is if town C is 5 hours ahead of town A, find the longitude X. Okay, so the difference between C and A is 5 hours. That's what we're given. So we are told to find the longitude of X, okay, where town C is. Okay, so since town C is in X, so we can say we can use the formula of finding time, which is we can add the longitude of X and of town A and town C. So we can say town A plus town C, which can be divided by 15 degrees. So we know that every 15 degrees is equal to 1 hour. So we are going to add the longitude of A and C, then we divide by 15, so which is going to be is equal to 5 hours. So when you do that, you're going to get 5 hours as the time. That's a 5 hours which is given. So that's what will be our answer. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to identify a town that has got the longitude which is given, which is A. So we're going to say equal to, then we're going to say what is the longitude of A. We have 25 degrees west. Then when we look at C, the longitude of C is not given, is what we want to find. So we're going to say plus C, which is equal to which is divided by 15. Okay, then we're going to say equal to. So now at this time we need to get rid of the fractions of the fraction. So we need to get rid of 15. So what we're going to do, we're going to multiply both sides by 15. Reason being that when you're dividing, when you multiply the same number as the denominator, then you are going to cancel each other. Okay, once we've done that, then once we have written like that, we're going to multiply both sides by 15 because we want to get rid of 15. Okay, so we're going to multiply both sides by 15 and this side also by 15. Now as you can see, 25 plus C over 15 degrees is going to be multiplied by 15 degrees, as well as 5 is going to be multiplied by 15 degrees. Once we do that, that means 15 on the left side is going to cancel each other. The 15 down and the 15 on top will cancel each other. Then we are going to remain with the 25 degrees plus C is equal to then 75 degrees, because when we multiply 5 by 15 degrees, it's going to give you 75 degrees. At this time, we're going to put like terms together. So we're going to write C is equal to 75 minus, now when the 25 cross the equal sign, it's going to become minus, so it's going to be minus 25. Then 75 minus 25, it's going to give us, which is the answer, which is C is equal to 50 degrees. So the town C is on the longitude with 50 degrees. Therefore, since the town is on the longitude marked X, that means the value of longitude X is equal to 50 degrees. So the correct answer here was 50 degrees. Okay, we can go to question number 12. Okay. So question 12 was, a learner measured the length of a line to be 2.2 centimeter. If the actual length is 2 centimeter, find A, absolute error, B, percentage error. Okay, so you need to find the absolute error as well as the percentage error. So let's start with A, which is absolute error. So how do you find the absolute error? So to find the absolute error, we write AE. Now that is absolute error. So A from absolute, E from error. Okay. So we are going to write absolute error is equal to, okay, recorded value. So this is the value the child recorded. Then minus true value, the actual value of the line. Okay, so what is there is the formula is to find the absolute error, you need to subtract the recorded value minus the true value. Okay, so what is the recorded value? So I'm going to write to equal to, so what is the recorded value? So the recorded value, this is the measurement of a learner, which is 2.2 centimeter. then which will be subtracted, which we are going to subtract from which? We are going to subtract the actual length, which is the true value, which is 2 centimeter. Okay, then 2.2 centimeter minus 2 centimeter will give us 0.2 centimeter. So 0.2 centimeter, this is the absolute error. Okay, now let's go to question B, which is percentage error. So we are going to use this formula, which is going to be percentage error, which I'm going to write as PE is equal to relative error. Okay, now let me talk about relative error, because if you're not careful, this is going to complicate the lesson, but if you're very careful, or if you have an idea, it won't. But let me talk about relative error. So to find relative error, what you need to do is, let me write on the other side of the screen. So as you can see there, RE in pink stands for relative error, which is equal to the absolute error divided by the actual value. The absolute error divided by actual value, that is relative error. Okay, which is going to be multiplied by, now let's come back to where I'm working. I think you have understood about the relative error. Now let's go to finding percentage error. So we're going to say P is equal to relative error multiplied by 100%. Okay, once we have done that, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to replace the values of relative error. So to find relative error, we're going to write the absolute error over 2 centimeter. Okay, absolute error over the true value. So we're going to write the absolute error we found was 0.2 centimeter. So we're going to write 0, which is equal to 0.2 centimeter over, so the true value is 2 centimeters, so it's going to be over 2 centimeter, which will be multiplied by 100%. Okay, once we have done that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply 0.2 centimeter by 100%, which should give us 20 centimeter percent, which will be divided by 2 centimeter. It's going to be divided by 2 centimeter. So when we are going to write equal to, then we're going to divide by 2, it's going to be cancelled, it's going to be 1. Okay, then we say 20 centimeter percent divided by 2 centimeter, it's going to give us 10%. Okay, that means the centimeter down and the centimeter on top will cancel each other. Then 2 divided by 20 will give us 10. Then the percent is remaining, so we're going to put percent sign to 10. Okay, so in this question 12A was 0.2 centimeter and 12B was 10%. Okay, let's go to question number 13. Okay, question number 13 was, the points A, B, C, and D are on the circumference of a center O such that angle AOC is equal to 126 degrees. AO is parallel to DC and angle OCB is equal to 33. Then they're asking us to find A, angle ADC, B, angle OCD, and C, we are asked to find angle BAO. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to start the diagram. This is the diagram which I have put here on the right side, on the left side of the screen here. You can study it, make sure you understand it. So when you look at this diagram, angle ADC is the one which is in the circumference, on the point of circumference there. Okay, so that's the angle D. So we are supposed to find angle D. Now, if you can remember very well the law is that this angle, the one I've circled in red, with the one I've put the red arc there, that the total of that angle is equal to the total of that angle divided by 2 is equal to angle ADC. Okay, so angle ADC is half of angle AOC. Okay, the one with the arc which is in red there. So angle ADC is half of the angle which is in a lady arc there. So that means for us to find angle ADC, we need first to find the angle AOC, which is in already arc there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the property of angles on a point add up to 100. Sorry, angle on a point add up to 360 degrees. So that means we're going to subtract 126 degrees from 360 degrees. Then we are going to divide the quotient by 2. Then it's going to give us angle ADC. So what I'm saying is we're going to do this. Angle ADC is equal to 360 degrees minus 126 degrees divided by 2. Okay, divided by 2. So what we are trying to say is that lady arc there, the total angle of that lady arc is times 2 of the angle ADC. So if we find the angle that the first arc I had drawn there with the angle which is adjacent to 160 degrees, then that means now we can be able to find the angle ADC if we find the angle which is adjacent to 126 degrees. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write angle, we're going to write equal to, so we find the difference of 360 minus 126, which is going to give us 234. 234 will be divided by 2. Okay, so when we divide 234 by 2, we are going to get 117. Okay, so the final answer, the angle ADC is equal to 117. Okay, so I'm going to replace that arc by the actual angle, which is 117 degrees. Okay, so every angle I find, I'll be writing it there. Okay, now next, let's go to question B, which is we need to find angle OCD. So angle OCD. Okay, so as you can see that angle, you need to also to understand that the two lines, line AO and DC, are parallel lines. Okay, so that means this line OC is a transversal line. Okay, so if you remember that angles which are inside, they add up to 180 degrees. So we're going to use this property, which is to find that angle which we have put a red arc there, down there, the angle which is adjacent to 33 degrees. We are going to use a property which is co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. Co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. That means when we add 126 with the angle down there, we should get the answer which is 180 degrees. So the co-interior angles, the two co-interior angles is 126 and the angle OCD. Okay, 126 and angle OCD. They are co-interior angles which should add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to write an expression which is and now that angle I'm just going to call it C. So I'm going to say angle C is angle C plus 126 degrees is equal to 180. And on this stage I'm just going to put like terms together. Okay, so I'm going to say C, angle C is equal to 180 minus 126. So which is going to give us angle C is equal to, when you subtract 126 degrees from 180 degrees, we're going to get 54 degrees. So the value of angle C or angle OCD is 54 degrees, and I'm going to put 54 degrees inside there. Okay, so that is the correct answer for the question B, which is angle OCD. Okay, we come to angle BAO. Okay, we come to angle BAO. Okay, so here we are going to look at angle BAO. So the property we're going to use here to find angle BAO is, we're going to use the property which is the sum of quadrilateral polygon, the sum of interior angles of quadrilateral is 360 degrees. The sum of interior angles of quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Okay, so this is the sum of interior angles of a polygon with 4 sides. Now when you look at this shape formed, which is A, B, C, D, this is a polygon with 4 sides, so it's a quadrilateral polygon. So which means this, in this polygon, the total sum of interior angles should be 360 degrees. Okay, so we're going to use this property. So to use this property efficiently, we're going to find angles that are not given in that, where we have a chance of finding where there is a weakness of finding those angles. So when you look at angle angle ABC can be found because we are given angle 126, and the angle on the circumference is half of the angle of which is on the center. So which means we have got 126 there. So the angle ABC is half of the angle which is 126. So we're going to say angle ABC is equal to 126 divided by 2. Then when you divide 126 by 2, we're going to get 63 degrees. So angle ABC is equal to 63 degrees. Okay, now the other point or the angle where we can find the value of that angle is angle OAD, angle OAD or angle ADO. So we can find that angle, and the property we can use is the same property we used in B, which is co-interior angles add up to 180 degrees. So angle CDA is a co-interior angle with angle DAO. Okay, so therefore when we add 117 to angle DAO, we should get 180 degrees. So we're going to say angle DA, okay, we're going to say 117 degrees plus I'm going to call that one angle A is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so we're going to find the difference. So we're going to say angle A is equal to 180 degrees minus 117 degrees, which should give us 180 degrees minus 117 degrees will give us, which here I'm going to write A is equal to 63. So the value of angle DAO, the value of angle DAO is 63 degrees, which I have also written there. Okay, now when you look at this quadrilateral we have come up with, you may see that I'm talking about quadrilateral which is ABCD. Okay, forget about those angles which are on O, forget about them, but let's focus on angles which are on these corners, 4 corners, which is A, B, C, D. Okay, when you look at this quadrilateral, you can see that the only angle we don't know its value is angle BAO, angle BAO. And then we can get this angle by using the principle I earlier mentioned, which is the sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. So that means we are going to add all the angles, including angle BAO. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write angle BAO, sorry, there should be O, not C. Angle BAO is equal to, also not is equal to, plus 63. Now remember, I'm getting 63, which is angle OAD or DAO. Okay, then plus angle, the angle which is on D there, then which is 117, plus the angle which is on C. Now you can see that on C we have got 2 angles, 54 and 33. Both of them will be added. So plus angle 54 plus angle 54, then plus 33, then plus 63, which is on B there. Then the entire, all these angles should give us 360 degrees. Okay, once we've done this, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to say, now it should be angle BAO. So please bear with me that I prepared angle BC instead, angle BAC. It should be angle BAO. Okay, so angle BAO plus 330 degrees is equal to 360 degrees. Now, where is the 330 coming from? I've added all the angles given, that is 63 plus 117 plus 54 plus 33 plus 63. Then it has given me 330 degrees, which will be, now after I've come up to this stage, we are going to put like terms together. So we're going to say angle BAO, there C should be O. Angle BAO is equal to 360 degrees minus 330 degrees. Then angle BAO is equal to, when we subtract the 360 degrees minus 330 degrees, it will give us 30 degrees. So the value of angle BAO is 30 degrees. So that is the value of angle BAO. So please bear with me where I've written BAC, it should be BAO. Okay, now let's go to question number 14. Okay, question 14 was as follows. The diagram below shows 3 points, J, K, and L on a level ground. K is due east of J. Angle LJK is equal to 70 degrees, and angle JKL is 30 degrees. So that is the diagram below. As you can see, that is a triangle drawn. And you can see 70 degrees there, the angle of 70 degrees and the angle of 30 degrees, and one angle is not given. Okay, then the question is question A, 14A is calculate the bearing of A, K from L, B, J from L. Okay, so to find the bearing of K from L, what we're going to do is we are going to draw the line here, and we're going to put the mark which is north there. Okay, and then we want to find the bearing which is this one. Okay, this is the bearing we want to find. Okay, the angle there is the one we want to find. So to find this angle, what we're going to do is we're going to go on point K there where the 30 degrees. We need to find the adjacent angle of 30 degrees. So what we're going to do is I'm going to draw the line there as well. Then I'm going to identify this angle. Okay, after I put the direction there, then I'm going to find this angle. Now, when I identify that angle, that is 90 degrees, because they are saying K is due east of J. So that is 90 degrees there because of that statement. So once I find that, then you can know that that is a 90 degree angle. So I need to find the angle which is adjacent to 30 degrees, which I'm going to call X and that X. Now, why am I calling these two angles as with the same name? Because these angles are alternate angles, and when you look at the properties of alternate angles, we're saying alternate angles are what? Are equal. Okay, alternate angles are equal. So that means if I find the X which is adjacent to 30 degrees, that means I've also found the X which is here, because angle X and the angle X, they are adjacent and they are equal. So what I'm going to use, the property I'll use is alternate angles are equal. As you can see down here, I've written alternate angles are what? Are equal. That means now I'm going to find the X which is adjacent to 30 degrees. Now, when you look at that, we have a statement that both of these angles add up to 90 degrees. They are complementary angles. So I'm going to find a complement of 30 degrees, which is denoted by X. So I'm going to say X plus 30 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, then I'm going to put like terms together. So I'm going to write x is equal to 90 degrees minus 30 degrees. Then x is going to be 60 degrees. So the value of x, or the both x's, is 60 degrees. So here I'm going to change. I'm going to put 60 degrees, and there I'm going to put 60 degrees. So the bearing of K from L is 60 degrees. So that was 60 degrees was the answer for question A. Okay, let's go to question B. Question B will ask to find the bearing of J from L. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the bearing they're asking us. So the bearing they're asking us to find is this one. Okay, so this is the one that starts from the north up to the line JL. Okay, up to the line JL. Okay, so the entire that. Okay, so for us to find this, we need to identify the angle which is not included. So the angle which is not included, the angle which is not included is the angle which is adjacent to 60 degrees. Okay, this angle which I'm going to name as y. Okay, we need to find the value of y. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to use a property which is the sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. We all know that the interior angles of a triangle adds up to 180 degrees. So that's a property we're going to use. So which means we're going to add all the given angles. Then the difference of 180 plus the sum of the given angles is going to be the value of y. So we're going to say y, okay, plus 60 degrees, which is adjacent to y, then plus 30 degrees plus 70 degrees, which is equal to 180 degrees. Then we're going to say y, then we are going to find the sum of 60 degrees, 30 degrees, and 70 degrees. So when you add 60 plus 30 will give us 90. 90 plus 70 will give us 160 degrees. So plus 160 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Then we're going to put like terms together. Then we're going to have y is equal to 180 minus 160. So when you find the difference of 180 and 160, you're going to find that y is equal to 20 degrees. Now, that is the angle that is not included in this bearing. So y is equal to 20 degrees. Okay, now we can find the bearing of J from L. Okay, now to find the bearing of J from L, we are going to use a property which is first of all, I'm going to name this bearing, which is in green as angle W. Okay, now we're going to use a property which is called the property which is in angles on a point add up to 360. That's a property we're going to use. So we're going to say angles on a point add up to 360 degrees, because when you look at 20 degrees and angle W, okay, angle 20 degrees and angle W, together they form a complete turn. Okay, so when they form a complete turn, that is the angle on a point, they are making a full rotation. So that means they are angle on a point. Okay, we can use the property of angle on a point to find the value of W. So we can say W plus 20 degrees is equal to 360 degrees. Then we are going to put like terms together, which we are going to say W is equal to 360 degrees minus 120 degrees. Then when you solve that one, we're going to have W, and W is equal to 340 degrees. Okay, so those are the bearing of from those questions. So please, let's go to question number 15. Okay, question 15 was as follows. The function of f and g are defined by f of x is equal to x plus 9 over 2, and g of x is equal to x minus 2. Find A, the inverse of x, B, fg of x, and C, fg of negative 5. So let's start with question A, which is the inverse of f of x. So we're going to write this expression. Now remember, I've just gotten f of x is equal to, in that statement is the one I've used. Okay, so where there is fx, I've put y, yes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of the fraction. Remember, I want to make the inverse of f of x. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of 2. So which means I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. I want to get rid of the fraction, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. So which is going to be 2 multiplied by y, which is equal to, then I'm also going to multiply the other side, which is x plus 9 over 2 times 2. Okay, then when I multiply 2 multiplied by y, I'm going to get y, 2y. I'm going to get 2y, which is going to be equal to, then on the left side, on the right side, the denominator 2 and the 2 I've multiplied the fraction with, they are going to cancel each other. So it's going to be there and there. Then I'm going to remain with x plus 9, okay, on the right side. Once I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make x the subject of the formula. So I'm going to write 2y, then our 9 is going to close the equal sign, go where there is 2y, so it's going to be minus 9, which is going to be equal to x. Okay, so now I've come up with this expression. Then the next thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to rewrite this so that the x is on the left side. So I'm just going to swap 2y minus 9 so that you don't get confused. 2y minus 9 and x, they will swap sides. So x will go to the left side and 2y minus 9 will come to the right side. They will maintain their values. Okay, just like that. Okay, so there is nothing I've done there. I haven't added, the statement is just the same. I've just swapped it so that you don't get confused, because we usually put the subject of the formula on the left side. So that's why I've done that. Then next, I'm going to write the inverse of x of f of x is equal to, so where there is y in that expression, I'm going to put x. So 2y will become 2x. Okay, 2y will become 2x. Then it will be 2x minus 9. Okay, so where there is y, I've just replaced it with x. That's what I've done, and that's what you need to do in an exam. Okay, where there was y, I just had to put x. That's all. Okay, so the inverse of f of x is 2x minus 9. Okay, now let's go to question B, fg of x. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to write the same expression given in the statement, which is going to be over 2. Okay, f of x is equal to x plus 9 over 2. Okay, once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I want you to pay attention to that. Okay, that is the statement given in the statement. That is the formula given in the statement. So I'm going to change the color so that you don't get confused. Okay, now next I'm going to solve. I'm going to find fg of x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write fg of x is equal to, so where there is x, I'm going to write that g of x, which is minus 2. Okay, x minus 2. So that's the one I've circled there. So where there is x, I'm going to write x minus 2. So I'm going to write x minus 2 plus 9. Okay, we don't have to forget about 9, because x minus 2 is standing for x. Okay, which is the whole entire that over 2. Okay, then I'm going to say equal to Okay, I'm going to say equal to. Then I'm going to work out like terms there on top. As you can see, -2 plus 9 are like terms. So we can add that. So when we add the negative and the positive, that means the number with the bigger number the answer will have the sign of the bigger number. So when you look at 2 and 9, 2 is bigger, so the answer will be positive. Then we are going to say 9 minus 2 give us 7, so the answer will be x minus 7, or plus 7, sorry, x plus 7, because 9 is bigger than 2, that means the positive sign will be maintained, which will be over 2. Okay, so we are saying fg of x is equal to x plus 7 over 2. Fg of x is equal to x plus 7 over 2. Okay, now we come to question C. Okay, question C, we ask to find fg of -5. Okay, so first of all, I want us to understand that the formula I found for fg of x is equal to then I'm going to pick this one down, x plus 7 over 2. That is the formula for fgx. So I'm going to write is equal to x plus 7 over 2. Okay. Then once I've done that, then we are going to replace x by -5. Okay. So I'm going to write that. Then where there is x, I'm going to put -5, which will be added to 7. Then it will be divided by 2. Okay, then once we've done that, then I'm going to say equal to. So when we say -5 plus 7 will give us +2, which will be divided by 2. Then 2 divided by 2 will give us 1. Okay, so the value of fg of -5 is 1. So these are the answers we are supposed to write in an exam. Okay, let's go to question number 16. Okay, so question 16a was as follows. Find the equation of a straight line which is perpendicular to the line 2y minus x is equal to 3 and passes through the point -4, 1. Okay, so we need to find the equation where we can draw a line which is perpendicular to the line which has an equation which is 2y minus x is equal to 3. And it passes through the point -4, 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that equation given. Then I'm going to use this equation to find the gradient. I'm going to find the gradient of this equation, and thereafter I'm also going to come up with the gradient of the equation we're going to formulate. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is first I'm going to make x a subject of the formula. So I'm going to write 2y, then which is going to be 2y is equal to 3 minus x. Now here, sorry, I said x to make, I'm going to make y a subject of the formula, not x, y the subject of the formula. So now once I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide every term by 2 so that I just remain with y on that side. So I'm going to divide this side by 2 and this side by 2 and here by 2. Okay, every term in this expression is divided by 2 because I want to remain with y only. So when I do that, I'm going to come up with something which is going to be like this. So I'm going to cancel the 2's, the 2 on top and the denominator where there's 2y. So I'm going to remain with y. Then as you can see, 3 and 2, there's no number. 2 cannot go into 3 without leaving a remainder. So I'm just going to write 3 over 2 and x over 2. Okay, I'm going to write like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now here is I'm going to get the coefficient of x. So I want to come up with the gradient. So the gradient of that equation 2y minus x is equal to 3. So I'm going to get a coefficient of x, which is 1 there. That's why I'm going to put 1. Then I'm going to get that one, that is the gradient. 1 over 2 is the gradient of that equation. Okay, so 1 over 2. So for me to find the gradient of the second equation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the inverse of 1 over 2. Okay, so 1 over 2, the inverse is 2 over 1. So I'm going to write m is equal to, so now this gradient is going to be in a negative form, so I'm going to have negative 2. Okay, that is gradient number 2, and the other one is gradient number 1. The one I found is gradient number 1. Okay, so this is gradient number 1 is for the first equation in the question, and then gradient number 2 is the gradient for the equation we want to find or want to make. Okay, so the gradient will be negative 2 over 1. Okay, now when you see a fraction like that where the denominator is bigger than the numerator is bigger than the denominator, you can try to divide. Now as you can see, 1 can go into negative 2, so 1 into negative 2 will give us negative 2. Okay, so negative 2 is the gradient of the equation we're going to formulate. Okay, for this for the perpendicular line of that equation. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try to come up with that equation. Then I see what is missing, what I haven't found. So the equation we use to find, the equation we use for a straight line is y is equal to gradient multiplied by the value of x and plus what? C, which is the constant. Okay, so what we can do now, we try to put what is a variable. So as you can see, we just have a negative 2 gradient. We have a value for a gradient which is negative 2. So I'm going to write y is equal to negative 2x. Okay, do we know the value of x, of c, sorry, do we know the value of c? No, we don't know the value of c. So we are yet to find the value of c. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this equation to find the value of x. The same equation for making the equation for a straight line. Okay, so I'm going to say y. What is y in those points? They have given us 1 point, right, where this equation is passing through. We have got negative 4 and negative 1 in the statement. Okay, in the question. Let me read through the question, then I show you where I'm getting the variables or the values. Find the equation of a straight line which is perpendicular to the line 2y minus x is equal to 3 and passes through the point negative 4, 1. So the value of y I'm going to get in those points where we have negative 4 and 1. So the value of y in those points is 1. Okay, so I'm going to write 1, which is equal to then I'm going to put negative 2 as the gradient we found. Then the gradient 2. Okay, then we are going to multiply it by x. What is the value of x? In those points given in the question, it's negative 4. So I'm going to multiply by negative 4, then plus c. Now remember, we just want to find the value of c so that we can put that value of c in that equation. Okay, so now we can say 1 is equal to negative 2 multiplied by negative 4 will give us 8, which will be added to c in order for us to get 1. Okay, then what we're going to do, we're going to put like terms together. So I'm going to write 1, then the 8 will close the equal sign and come to where 1 is, so it will become a negative. So minus 8 is equal to c. Okay, so now when we subtract 1 from 8, when we say 1 minus 8, we are going to get, when we subtract 8 from 1, we're going to get negative 7, which is equal to c. Okay, now we have found the value of c. Now we can go and put the value of c there. Now, in that expression we have, let's go to the expression, the formula, the equation we have written in the middle here in brown. We have found already the value of c, which is negative 7. Now let's come to the equation on the middle. The equation on the middle is, okay, what we want to come up with, we want to come up with an equation that is perpendicular to the equation which is 2y minus x is equal to 3. Okay, remember these equations are going to produce a straight line. So we have managed to come up with y is equal to negative 2x. Okay, so negative 2 is coming from the gradient, the second gradient, and x, that is, it will remain just like that. Now we were finding the value of c, and we found it's negative 7. So we're going to write y is equal to negative 2x plus negative 7. Remember, we are adding. Now, here again we are going to write y is equal to negative 2x. Now, when we multiply the positive by a negative, we're going to get the answer which is a negative. So the answer there was going to be negative 7. So the equation will be y is equal to negative 2x minus 7. Negative 2x minus 7. That is the equation for a straight line which is perpendicular to the line which is 2y minus x is equal to 3. So the equation now we have found is this one in the circle, which is y is equal to negative 2x minus 7. So this was the correct answer. Let's go to the next question. This one is solved. Okay. Okay, question 16b was, in the answer space below is an incomplete flowchart for calculating the curved surface area of a cylinder with the radius r and the height h. Complete the flow chart. Okay, so here what you need to do, there is on top, we start from on top, there is a start. Immediately after start, you enter radius and height. Okay, once you have done that, then the next thing you're going to do in the next chart, you're going to enter the formula of the area, which is going to be area is equal to area is equal to 2 by r height. Okay, so that is what you need to enter, and that's how you are supposed to answer that question. We go to question number 17. Okay, so this is question 17a, and the question is as follows. The figure below shows a parallelogram with center O. Describe fully the symmetry of the parallelogram about the center O. Okay, so here we are talking about order of rotation. Here we are talking about order of what? Rotation. Okay, so how can we describe the order of rotation on center O? So we can say that this parallelogram has the rotational symmetry of order 2 about O. Okay, it has rotational symmetry of order 2 about O. Okay, now let's go to question 17b. Question 17b, this should be 17b, not A. The diagram below shows triangle A, which is mapped on the triangle B by a single transformation P. Describe fully the transformation P. Okay, so question 17b was the diagram below shows triangle A, which is mapped on the triangle B by a single transformation. Then they're asking us to describe fully the transformation P. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw a line here, which is when you look at this and when you look at the two triangles, you realize that this is refraction. So this is the refraction on the mirror. So the triangle A is reflecting in a mirror as triangle P. Okay, then such kind of transformation, I've got an equation which is y is equal to negative x or negative y is equal to x. So this was the answer. This is how you can describe it. It is a refraction which has the equation which is y is equal to negative x or negative y is equal to x. Let's go to question 18. Okay, question 18 was as follows. It is given that y varies direct as 2x and inversely as z squared, and y is equal to 4 when x is equal to 8 and z is equal to 2. Find the value of k, the constant variation, B, value of y when x is equal to 27 and z is equal to 3, C, value of z when x is equal to 24 and y is equal to 3. Okay, so these are the 3 questions we are supposed to answer. So what we're going to do is we're going back to question A, which is find the value of k, the constant variation. Okay, so here what we're going to do is we are going to come up first with a formula. Okay, so we are going to write y is equal to, now we are told that y varies directly as 2x, so is equal to 2x and inversely as z squared over z squared, okay, because of inversely. Okay, so once we have done that, then the next thing we're going to do is, this is the equation we've come up with. Now we need to put the constant there. So what we're going to do is we're going to write y is equal to, then we say k multiplied by 2x over z squared. Then we are going to evaluate k multiplied by 2x. So we're going to write y is equal to 2 multiplied by 2, k multiplied by 2x will give us 2kx, which is over z squared. Okay, and that is the equation we're going to be using, the one I've circled. That's the one we're going to use in this question A. Remember, I was just coming up with a formula. Then we are also going to use it in question B as well as C. Now remember, you need to be careful when you're forming this equation to use to solve for these letters given. If you make mistake in this and coming up with a formula, that means all the questions will be wrong. All the answers you'll be getting will be wrong. Remember, this is paper 1 where markers will focus on the answers you have given and not steps. So be careful. Immediately you have got different numbers, then it will be dangerous for you. Okay, so let's come to question A. The value of k, the constant variation. Okay, so we are going to use the same formula, which is y is equal to 2kx over z squared. So now when we go back to the statement, we read through, we are given, we check for the numbers we are given. So we are given, the statement is as follows. It is given that y varies directly as 2x and inversely as z squared, and y is equal to 4. So where there is y, we're going to put 4. Then when, so they're saying when x is equal to 8. So as you can see, there is no value for k, so we're going to write 2k, okay, which will be multiplied by, the value of 8 is given, multiplied by 8 over the value of z is given, it's 2 over 2 squared. Okay, once we have done that, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to evaluate 2 squared, which I'm going to write 4 is equal to 2k multiplied by 8 over 4. Okay, 2 squared is equal to 4. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to write 4. I'm going to cancel 4 down, and 4 into 8 will go 2 times. Okay, then I'm going to write 4 is equal to 2k times z, 4 times 2. Okay, 4 is equal to 2k times 2 will give us 4k. Okay, which will be and you can see the denominator is cancelled out, so there is no need for us to write anything down there. So what at this stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Why? I want to make k the subject of the formula, or I want k to remain alone on the right side of the equal sign. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Okay, so 4 into 4 will give us 1. 4 into 4k will give us k. Okay, so the value of k is 1. So that is the constant of this, the constant variation in this equation is 1. So the value of k is 1. Let's go to question B. We asked to find the value of y when x is equal to 27 and z is equal to 3. So I'm going to use the same equation that I formulated earlier on in paper, the one which is circled, which is y is equal to 2kx over z squared. Then I'm going to replace the letters. Now as you can see in the question, y is not given, so I'm going to write y is equal to, then 2k, we know we have 2, then we know the value of k, it is 1, so 2 multiplied by 1, and then what is the value of x there? The value of x is given is 27. When you read the statement in question B, we are given 27 as the value of x, and then we are going to divide all of that by 3 squared. As you can see, z is equal to 3, so it's going to be 3 squared. Then we're going to say equal to, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to evaluate the denominator, which is 3 squared. So I'm going to rewrite what is on top, which is 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 27. Okay, then over, so when we square, we evaluate 3 squared will give us 9. So we're going to say we're going to look for a number that can go into 9 and another number on top, and as you can see, 27 and 9 has got common factors, and the highest common factor is 9, so I'm going to use 9 itself. So I'm going to say 9 into 9, it's 1, 9 into 27, it's 3. Okay, then I'm going to multiply 2 by 1 will give us I'm going to write what is remaining first, then I'm going to multiply 2 by 1 will give us 2, then which will be multiplied by 3, then 2 by 3 will give us 6. Okay, that is the answer. So the value of y when x is equal to 27 and z is equal to 3 is 6. We go to question C. Find the value of z when x is equal to 24 and y is equal to 3. So I'm going to write the formula. Remember, I'm just using the same formula which I've circled in paper there, which is y is equal to 2kx over z squared. Then we're given that the value of y is 3, so I'm going to write 3 is equal to, then 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by what is the value of x. X is given that is 24. Remember, the values of these letters, we're getting them from question C. Okay, so it's 24, so we're going to say times 24, which will be divided by are we given the value of z in question C? No, so which will be z squared. Okay, once we have done that, then I'm going to multiply all the numbers on top. So I'm going to write 3 is equal to 2 by 1, it's 2 by 24 will give us 48, which will be over z squared. Okay, now at this time I want to make I want to get rid of the fraction. That's the first thing. I want to get rid of the fraction. The intention is I want to make z to be the subject of the formula. So the first step is I want to get rid of the fraction. That means I'm going to multiply both sides by z squared. Okay, so z squared times 3 will give me 3z squared, which will be equal to, then the z squared this side will cancel each other. Okay, then I'm going to remain with 48. Okay, now remember, the intention is to make the z squared the subject of the formula, so which means I'm going to divide both sides by 3. There we have got 3z squared is equal to 48. Now I want to make z squared the subject of the formula. That means I will divide both sides by 3. Okay, so as you can see, 3z squared divided by 3 will give me z squared, which will be equal to 48 divided by 3 will give me 16. And that now after I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the value of, I'm going to square all the numbers. I'm going to find the square root of z squared and 16. So I'm going to put them in a square root sign there. Then I'm going to say the square root of z squared is z, and then the square root of 16 is 4. So the value of z when x is equal to 24 and y is equal to 3 is 4. Okay, so this is where the answers. Let's go to question number 19. Okay, question 19 was okay, question 19 had two questions, that is 19A and 19B. So let's start with question 19A. So find open bracket x squared minus x plus 7 dx. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this question here. I will write that statement there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to remove the brackets and write it like this. So I'm going to write x squared. Remember, this question is asking us to integrate this expression or this equation. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 6x squared. Then I'm going to add 1 to the power, which is going to be plus 1, then minus 2x. Now, as you can see, a number without a power is, we take it that is raised to the power of 1. So I'm going to write 2x raised to the power of 1, then plus 1, okay, which will be plus 7. Now I'm going to write x to 7. It's more or less like 7 has got an x which is not visible, and that x is raised to the power of 0. So it's going to be x raised to the power of 0, then plus 1, okay, which I'm going to add a constant which is c. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to add the powers first. So I'm going to, when I add 2 plus 1 only 6x, we have got 6x 2 raised to the power 2 plus 1. So which means we're adding the powers there on top, which is 2 plus 1 will give us 3. So we're going to have 6x raised to the power of 3. Okay, 6x raised to the power of 3 plus, then we are going also to add not plus but minus 2x plus 1 on top of the powers there. 1 plus 1 will give us 2. So we are going to have minus 2x squared, then plus 7x, which is x is raised to the power 0 plus 1, which is going to be raised to the power 1. So we're going to have 7x raised to the power 1, then plus c. Okay, now we are going to divide these numbers by their powers. So we're going to have 6x divided by 3, then negative 2x squared divided by 2, then 7x plus 7x to the power 1 will be divided by 1. Okay, once we have done that, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find the quotients. So 6 divided by 3 will give us 2, or let me say 6x cubic divided by 3 will give us 2x raised to the power 3 minus, then we say negative 2x squared divided by 2 will give us negative 1, which you can write negative x squared plus, then 7x divided by 1, we are going to have 7x. Now remember, even if I write 7x without raising to the power 1, it is more or less like it is raised to the power 1. Okay, so we're going to say plus c. Okay, and that was the answer that was expected in an exam. It was 2x raised to the power 3 minus x squared plus 7x plus c. Okay, let's go to question number B, 19B. Okay, 19B was as follows. The areas of two similar cylinders are 64 centimeter squared and 36 centimeter squared respectively. If the height of the larger cylinder is 30 centimeter, find the height of the smaller cylinder. So we're going to come up with a proportion, so which is 64 centimeter squared is equal to 30 centimeter. As you can see, as you have read, that a cylinder with 64 centimeter, with the area of 64 centimeter squared, has the height of 30 centimeter. So now we come to the other cylinder which has got the area of 36 centimeter, which is 36 centimeter. And what is the height? The height is not given, and that's what we want to find. So the height of this cylinder, will replace it with the x, okay, which is equal to x. Okay, before we do anything, what we are going to do is we are going to square 64 and 36. Okay, we're going to find the square root of 64 centimeter squared and 36 centimeter squared. So I'm going to write like that. Okay, we're going to find the square root of that. Then the square root of 64 is the square root of 64 centimeter squared is 8 centimeter, which is equal to 30 centimeter. Then the square root of 36 centimeter is 6 centimeter, which is equal to x. Okay, once we've done this, then the next thing we're going to do is the next thing we're going to do is the next thing we're going to do next is now we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to have 8 centimeter multiplied by x, which will give us 8 centimeter x, which is equal to 30 centimeter times 6 centimeter. Okay, then we're going to come up with 8 centimeter x is equal to 180 centimeter squared. 180 centimeter squared. Now, because of space, I'll take it up there. I'm going to write it up there. Then what we're going to do here now, we're going to divide 8 centimeter x by 8. What we want to remain with x alone. Okay, so remember x, that is the height of the smaller cylinder. So we're going to divide both sides by x because we want to remain with x alone, so that we can be able to find the exact value of x, and that will be the height of the smaller cylinder. Okay, so we're going to divide both sides by 8. Okay, all right, so we say 8 centimeter x divided by 8 centimeter will give us x. Okay, 8 centimeter x divided by 8 centimeter will give us x. Then we're also going to divide this side. We're going to divide this side by 8 centimeter. So we're going to say, let's start with the numbers first. 180 divided by 8 will give us 22.5. Then we say centimeter squared divided by centimeter will give us centimeter. So the value or the height of the smaller cylinder is 22.5 centimeter. Okay, let's go to question number 20. Okay, so question 20A was as follows. In the diagram below, AB is equal to 3 centimeter, BC is equal to 4 centimeter, AD is equal to 13 centimeter, and angle ABC is equal to angle ACD, which is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, now the question is calculate the value of the tangent DAC. Okay, the tangent DAC. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to identify that angle we want to find the tangent for. So the angle we're talking about is this angle, which is DAC. So the one which is marked by already x there is the angle we want to find the tangent for. Okay, so now let's go to the formula of tangent. So we can write, okay, tangent. Then I do not have theta, so I'm going to be skipping theta, but it should be tangent theta is equal to then opposite side over adjacent side. Okay, that is the formula for finding the tangent, okay, of the theta. Okay, so now when you look at this question, you identify that the opposite of x is this angle, is this side. The side which is opposite to the angle x is this one, the one I've marked W in purple. That is the opposite. Okay, then the adjacent side of this angle x is this one which I've marked y. Now when you look at these sides are not given, these sides are not given. Okay, that is where the question gets complicated, because those two sides which we are supposed to use to find the tangent of x, they are not given. So what are we going to do? So what we're going to do is we're going to find first the side, those sides. Now when you look at this question, you can see that when we try to go direct to find the value of y and w, it will be very difficult for us, because in this triangle, which is triangle ADC or ACD, in this triangle only one side is given, so it will be very difficult for us to find the two sides when it's only one side given. So we need to find a way in which we can find the other side so that it can be two sides. So we are going to start with y. When you look at these are two light angled triangles. So when you look at angle ABC, two sides are given, but one side is not given, and that side is y. So we're going to start first by finding the value of y, because this side, which is y, it is in both the triangles. So it is in triangle ABC as well as ACD. So you can find the side marked y. Okay, so what are we going to do to find the value of y? We're going to use the formula of Pythagoras theorem. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. Okay, then we're going to put the values of a and b in the expression. So we have got c squared, then we're going to find the value of a, which is 4 squared plus 3 squared. Okay, so these I have left the units, but you can still include the units like that. Then what we're going to do is now we're going to find the square of 4 and 3. So the square of 4 centimeter is 16 centimeter squared plus 9 centimeter squared, and 9 is the square of 3. Okay, once I've done this, then what we're going to do next is just to add these numbers. So we're going to write C, then 16 plus 9 will give us 25, and it will be 25 centimeter squared. Okay, so it's going to be 25 centimeter squared. Then what we're going to do is we're going to find the square root of these. Okay, once we've found the answer, then what we're going to do is we're going to find the square root of C and 25 centimeter squared. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do like that. Then we're going to say what is the square root of C squared? It's going to be C. Then what is the square root of 25 centimeter squared? Is 5 centimeter. Okay, it's going to be 5 centimeter. So the value of y in that diagram, now let's go to the diagram. The value of y in that diagram is 5 centimeter. Okay, so I've even removed y and I've put 5 centimeter. That is the size of the length AC. The size of the length AC is 5 centimeter. Okay, then now let's try to find the answer. Now, as you can see, the opposite side is also not known, W, so we need to find also W. Now, to find W, we're going to use the same method, which is Pythagoras theorem. So we're going to use Pythagoras theorem. So what we're going to do now here, we are going to write again this formula. This is the one we're going to use. C squared is equal to A plus B. Now, when we talk about C, this is the hypotenuse. Okay, so the hypotenuse of this triangle, which is the triangle ACD, the hypotenuse of triangle ACD is 13 centimeter. That line is the hypotenuse. It's the longest. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write. So where there is C squared, we're going to put 13 squared, which will be equal to 5 centimeter squared, then plus B squared. Okay, once we've done that, then we're going to find the square of 13 and 5 centimeter. So the square of 13 is 169 centimeter squared, and which will be equal to the square of 5 is 25 centimeter squared, then plus B squared. Okay, once we've done that, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put like terms together. Okay, we're going to put like terms together. So I'm going to write 169, then the 25 centimeter squared will close the equal sign and become minus. So it's going to be 169 centimeter squared minus 25 centimeter squared, which will be equal to B squared. Okay, once we do that, then we're going to write that. So we say 169 minus 25 is going to give us 44 centimeter squared, which will be equal to B squared. Okay, once we do that, then we are going to now find the square root of 144 centimeter squared and B squared. So we're going to put the square root signs there. Okay, once we've done that, then we're going to find the square root of 144 centimeter squared, which is going to be, the square root will be 12 centimeter, and the square root of b squared is b. Okay, so that means the value of b is 12 centimeter, and remember we are trying to find the length of the side which is CD, and that is marked by W. So the value of W is 12 centimeters. So we're going to put 12 centimeter there. Okay, once we have done that, now we have managed to solve to find the sides of this. There are the two missing sides of this triangle, which is ACD. Okay, now we can now go back to our original question, which is the tangent of DAC, angle DAC. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to find the tangent of that. Now we said the formula for the formula to use to find the tangent is tangent theta is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side. Okay, so the opposite side, the one that is facing angle X, is the side which is 12 centimeter. So the opposite side is 12 centimeter. So we're going to write equal to which is equal to, then we're going to say 12 centimeter. Okay, we are going to forget about units. Then we're going to say 12 divided by 5. Okay, now that is also the tangent of angle X there, but you can also go further and simplify this. So the answer can be 12 over 5, or it can also be 2 over 5. 2 over 5. Okay, then it can also be 2.4. Okay, it can also be 2.4. So these three answers, these three options I've given, they can all be accepted, but it depends with the instruction that accompanies the question. But like this, 12 over 5 can be accepted, like the way the question came. 12 over 5 can be accepted, or 2 over 5 can also be accepted. So give you an answer as a mixed fraction, or you can also give it as a decimal number, which is 2.4. Okay, now let's go to question 20b. Question 20b holds as follows. A is a point 1, 2, and B is the point negative 2, 5. Find AB as a column vector. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write these points as vectors. So I'm going to write OA is equal to 1, 2, and OB is equal to negative 2, 5. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to write the expression to find the column vector. So I'm going to write AB, okay, is equal to, I'm going to swap OA, it will be AO, okay, then plus OB, so OB will be maintained like that. Then once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to replace those. Now, since I've swapped OA to AO, that means it's going to become, the vector will become a negative. So I'm going to put a negative sign outside the brackets. Then 1, 2, close bracket, plus the OB will remain the same, which is minus negative 2 over 5. I'm going to close bracket. Okay, once I've done that, now I'm going to distribute the negative sign, which is on AO. Okay, I'm talking about this one, which is negative open bracket 1, 2 over or 1 2 close bracket. Okay, then I'm going to distribute the negative sign inside, so that I'm going to open bracket, then I'm going to say negative times 1 will give me negative 1, then negative times 2 will give me negative 2, then close bracket, plus, then OB will be maintained just like the way it is. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to add these two. Then I'm going to open big bracket, then I'll say negative 1 plus negative 2, then negative 2 plus 5. Okay, then close bracket. Now I'm going to add negative 1 plus negative 3. Sorry, negative 1 plus negative 2 will give us negative 3. Then negative 2 plus negative 2 plus 5 will give us 3. Okay, so that is the column vector of A, B. Okay, so that's a column vector. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, question 1 was write 3 inequalities that define the unshaded region R on the diagram. Okay, so this is the question and that is the diagram. So I urge you viewers to take note of the lines as well as the coordinates. Okay, so to solve this question, what I'm going to do is I'm going to name each line. Okay, so that is line A, line B, and line C. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with A. I'm going to find the inequality of A. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write A. Then the first thing I need to do is to find the coordinates. I need to write the coordinates of line A. So the coordinates of line A are, so when we look at that point which is near A, we can see 0, 8, and here where line A and line B meets is 6, 4. So these are the two coordinates in that line which you need to take note of. Okay, so what I'm going to do next now, I'm going to find the gradient of that line. So what I will do is I'm going to write the formula for finding gradient, which is m then y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then I'm going to identify numbers that stands for y2, y1, x2, and x1. So the number that stands for x2 is 4. Okay, it's 4 in that pair of coordinates, which is 6, 4. So 4 stands for y2. So I'm going to write 4 minus 8, because y1 is represented by 8 in the first coordinates. Okay, which will be divided by, so x2, that is 4, or x2 that is 6. x2 is 6. Okay, which will be subtracted, in which we are going to subtract 0 from. So 0, that is x1. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the difference of these numbers. So I'm going to write m is equal to, so 4 minus 8 will give us negative 4 over 6 minus 0 will give us 6. Okay, once it gives us 0, those answers, we have negative 4 over 6. Okay, then I'm going to look for numbers that can go into negative 4 and 6, but before that I'm going to write m is equal to, then I'm going to look for a number that can go into 6 and negative 4, and that number is 2. So I'm going to divide 6 by 2 and negative 4 by 2. So when we divide negative 4 by 2 will give us negative 2 over 6 divided by 2 will give us 3. Okay, and that is now the gradient of that line is negative 2 over 3. Okay, once I've found the gradient, now I'll go back and I'll go further and then find the equation that can represent that line. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write y minus y1 is equal to m minus x is equal to m open bracket x minus x1. Okay, then once I've done that, then I'm going to replace y1 and y1 gradient as well as x1 by their values. So I'm going to write y minus, so the value of y1 is 8, so I'm going to say y minus 8, okay, which will be equal to the gradient we found is negative 2 over 3, so that's what I've written there. We in brackets we are going to have x, so x is going to be written like that. Then the value of x1 is 0. Okay, once I've written like that, then I've replaced all the letters that are supposed to be replaced by their numbers. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to write y minus 8 is equal to, then I'm going to distribute negative 2 over 3 to those numbers in brackets. So I'm going to multiply negative 2 over 3 by x will give me negative 2x, which is then I'm going to multiply negative 2 over 3 times 0 will give me 0. Okay, so you can either add or subtract that. So what we're actually going to do is it won't change the answer. Okay, so I'm going to write y minus 8 is equal to, so negative 2 over 3x minus 0 will give us negative 2 over 3x. Okay, once I've done that, now here I want to say a certain point you need to understand. At this stage, when you reach at this stage, there are two ways you can solve this one. Okay, there are two ways you can solve this one. So after I solve using the first method, I'll come back to this point, then again I show you the second one. I'm going to do it on a different space. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to get 8 and d, take it to the other side where there is negative 2 over 3x, so that way I can remain alone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write y is equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 8. So because 8 is crossing the equal sign, instead of being negative, it will be a positive. Okay, once I've done this, that means I've come up with the equation that can help us to come up with a straight line like that one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to change this equation into the inequality. Okay, so what I'm going to write is I'm going to write y is less than, now since the line is not dotted, so I'm going to say is y is less than or equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 8. Okay, so this inequation you can still write it there, or you can use it to find other values, okay, if there is need to do so. Okay, now I'm going to say now we go to the second method. This one now we have found the answer. That is the answer. Y is less than or equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 8. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use another method, which I'm going to say or you can do this. Now we go back where the fourth step, when we started solving the fourth steps, where there is y minus 8 is equal to negative 2 over 3x. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to write that expression here. Okay, you can see it on this fourth step. So the other way you can do this, instead of taking those two steps, I know those are the easiest, that is the easiest way, but the other one is where you multiply both sides by 3, because 3 is the denominator, so you are trying to get rid of the fraction, so you multiply both sides by 3. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3. So when I do that, that means y minus 8 will be in brackets. Then I'm also going to multiply by 3 on the right side. Okay, now let me do the actual multiplying. So 3 multiplied by y will give me 3y. 3 multiplied by negative 8 will give me negative 24, which is equal to, okay, now here what I'm going to do now, before I write which is equal to, I'm going to
multiply 3 by negative 2 over 3. So when I do that, that means this 3 will be cancelled out and that 3 will be cancelled out, leaving me with negative 2x, so which is going to be equal to negative 2x. Now once I've done that, then now here I can swap the position of 24 and 2x, so that 2x can be with the 3y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 3y, then I'm going to write to bring 2 next to 3y. Now as you can see, 2x is negative, so when it crosses the equal sign it will become a positive, so it will be plus 2x, which is equal to 24. Now even 24 has changed its sign, it has become a positive because it has crossed the equal sign. Okay, once I've done this, then I've found the equation that can also help me to draw that line. So now I'm going to change this one into inequality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 3y plus 2x, which is less than or equal to 24. Okay, so that is the other inequality that you can come up with if you use this way. Okay, if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Now let's go to question 21b. Remember, this is not question 20, but it's a question 21. So this and this these are the two correct answers that examiners were expecting from students. Let's go to question 21. We continue with 21, which is 21b. Since we have done with the line A, we go to line B. Okay, question 21. We are still on question 21, and let's look at the line B. Remember, we asked to write 3 inequalities. So let's go to question B. So the line B, it's not really question B, but line B. I've just named them. This line, I've just named this line. So line B, first let's pick the coordinates. So first I'll write B, then let me start by writing the coordinates. So let's write the codes for this point where line C and B meets. Okay, so the code is 2 0, so x2, then y is 0. Okay, then now let's write the code where A and B meet. So we have that's where A and B meets. Okay, now these are the coordinates. So let's find the gradient. So the gradient, to find the gradient, the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, then we are going to find the values of y2, y1, x2 and x1. So let me write m for gradient. Then what is the value of y2? So the value of y2 is 4 minus, so the value of y2 is 4 and the value of y1 is 0. Okay, so now we're going to say over, then we find the value of x2 and x1. So the value of x2 is 6 and the value of x1 is 2. So it's going to be 6 minus 2. Then I'm going to write there. Then I'm going to divide. I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 0, it's 4. 6 minus 2, it's 4 again. Then we have got 4 over 4. So I'm going to write gradient here. Then I'm going to divide 4 divided by 4. It will give me 1. Okay. All right. So that is the gradient in that line, which is line B. Now let's find the inequality. Okay, what we're going to do now is we are going to write this. So to find the equation for this line, we're going to use this method, okay, where we are going to subtract y minus y1, then equals to gradient, open bracket, x minus x1. Okay, so I'm going to write y minus, so what is the value of y1 is 0, so y minus 0 is equal to 1, gradient is 1, so I'm going to say is equal to 1, which is a gradient, open bracket x, then minus, what is x? 1 is 2. Okay, minus 2. Okay, once we have done that, then I'm going to find the value of y minus 0 is y, which is equal to, then I'm going to distribute 1 to these terms inside the bracket. So 1 multiplied by x will give us x. 1 multiplied by 2 will give us negative 2. Y multiplied by negative 2 will give us negative 2. Then with this way, we have found the equation that can help us to define that. So now to write it as an equation, so where the equal sign, I'm going to write y. Now where there is equal sign, I'm going to put the greater than sign, greater or equal sign, because as you can see, this shaded part down here is less than the area are there. So I'm going to write y is greater than or equal to x minus 2. So y is greater than or equal to x minus 2. So that was the answer. So that's the inquiry for the line B. Okay, so let's go to C. Okay, so we come to line C. So the coordinate given in line C is only, so let me write C there, then the coordinates given are 2, 0. Okay, so these are the only coordinates that are given in this diagram. So we can come up with the inequality to describe this line. Okay, so we're going to say x is greater than, why are we saying greater than? Because it's shaded on the going to the left side. Okay, so now we're going to say x is greater than, then is greater than. Why are we saying greater than? Because the lines there, they are dotted, they are not straight just like that. Those are dotted line. If they were solid, then it means we could have say this greater than or equal to. So now we can say it's greater than 2. Okay, that is the equation. That is the equation for that line. That is the inquiry for that line. Okay, let's go to question 22. Question 22a is given that square root of 2 is equal to 2 raised to the power of x, find the value of x. Okay, so what you need to do here now, we're going to rewrite this statement or this expression in the statement, which is square root of 2 is equal to 2 raised to the power of x, and then we ask to find the value of x. Okay, so the first step we're going to do is we're going to square all these numbers so that we have a whole number where we have a square root of 2. So we're going to square square root of 2 raised to the power of 2, which is equal to 2 raised to the power of x squared. Okay, all right, once we have done this, we have squared all the terms on both sides. So what we're going to do is now we're going to find the actual value of this. So square root of 2 squared is equal to 2, which is raised to the power of 1. I'm writing the power of 1 because I want to use the power 1. That's why I'm indicating it. But whether you write a number without a power, it is taken that it is raised to the power of 1. Okay, then I'm also going to square 2 raised to the power of x. So I'm going to write 2, then I'm going to multiply the powers. So 2 multiplied by x, or x multiplied by 2, will give us 2x. Okay, so now after squaring both terms, we have come up with 2 raised to the power of 1, which is equal to 2 raised to the power of 2x. Okay, once I've done this, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going now to focus on the powers. That means I'm going to ignore the bases. Now, the reason I'm ignoring the bases because the base in the first term and the second term are the same. So there is no need even me to worry about it because the bases are the same. Unless if the bases were different, I would have converted the other base into the other base so that they can be of the same bases. Now, since they have the same bases, now what I will do is I will just focus on the powers. So what I will do now, here we have got 2 raised to the power of 1. So I'm going to write 1 here, which is equal to, now equal to the power which is 2x. Okay. Here I've ignored the powers, the bases, sorry. So I'm just focusing on the index and on the exponents. Okay. So I'm just focusing on the indices. So 1 is equal to 2x, those are indices, those are the exponents. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Why? Because I want to remain with x on the one side of the equal sign. Okay, so divide by 2 and divide by 2 this side. Okay, now when we look at 1 divide by 2, it will either give us a decimal number, which is 0.5, but I want to maintain the answer to be a fraction, so I'm going to rewrite the fraction, which is 1/2. Okay, now when I divide 2x divide by 2, that means I'm cancelling 2 on top and 2 down. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm remaining with x, so which means 1/2 is equal to x. So the value of x in that expression is 1/2. If you have got questions, you can ask in the comments, or you can also check another video where I used another method to find that value. Okay, let's go to question 22b. Okay, question 22b was as follows. The diagram below shows the graph of y, which is y is equal to -x plus 2, x minus 5. The graph cuts the x-axis at A and B. So question B1 was find the coordinates of the points A and B. So we need to find the coordinates of A and B. And what we're going to use is the equation which is given there. Okay, so when we look at this graph, you can see that A and B are meeting, the graph is meeting the x-axis when y is 0. So when you look at this point, when you look at point A, the reading on point A on y-axis is 0. The reading of the graph on point A at y-axis is what? 0. Same applies with at point B. Okay, the y-axis is 0. Okay, therefore we can replace y by 0 because on both points x-axis is made at 0. That's a reading of y. So we're going to say O is equal to that. Okay, so what we have just replaced is 0. Okay, we have just replaced y. Okay, once we have done that, what we're going to do is we should all know that if the answer we get is 0, that means one of these expressions in brackets should give us a product, it should give us a sum or a difference which is 0. So it's either the sum of -x plus 2 is 0, or the difference of x minus 5 is what? 0. That's why we're getting 0, because we're multiplying these the difference and the sum we get afterwards. Okay, so to find this, we are going to presume, now we are going to ask ourselves that if -x plus 2 is equal to 0, what is the value of x? So I'm going to rewrite this expression down. Okay, then I'm going to put like terms together. Okay, that means the 2 will go to the side where 0 is. So I'm going to say negative x is equal to negative 2, because 2 is crossing the equal sign, will become negative 2 plus 0. Okay, then negative x is equal to negative 2. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing is I need to get rid of a negative sign so that I just remain with x. So what I'm going to do is this. First of all, you need to understand that negative x has a coefficient. Even if it's not written, the coefficient of negative x is negative 1. So there is negative 1 there. Okay, so that means I'm going to divide both terms by negative 1. Okay, but it can also work when you just don't write a negative 1 there. You just cancel out the negative signs. Okay, you cancel the negative signs, the negative sign on the x and also on the 2, or you can divide all those two terms by a negative sign. So now I'm going to presume that there is 1 there, then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1. Okay, by negative 1. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to say negative 1x divided by negative 1 will give me x, which will be equal to, so negative 2 divided by 1 by negative 1 will give me positive 2. So the value of x when negative x plus 2 is equal to 0 is 2. Okay, now let's see what will be the value if x minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, if x minus 5 is equal to 0, what will be the value of x? So I'm going to rewrite that, then I'm going to put like terms together, then I'm going to have x is equal to 5 plus 0, then I'm going to add, then I'm going to have x is equal to 5. So the value of x is 5 when x minus 5 is equal to 0. So here I've gotten two answers. We have gotten 2 and 5. These are the codes for x. So these are the values of x. So now, as I said earlier on, we have got 2 and 5. So 2 is smaller than 5. So where can 2 be as the code for x? Okay, so remember, when counting numbers, we start from 0 going to the right side. When counting positive numbers, we start from 0 going to the right side. So meaning, we start from 0 going to the right side. That means A is coming first before B. That means the point A should have a smaller number. Therefore, the code for A can be A, open bracket, 2, comma, what? We said the graph is meeting x-axis when it's meeting x-axis where y is equal to 0. So the value of y when the graph meets the x-axis is 0. So meaning the code for A, the point A is 2, 0. Those are the coordinates for point A. So I can write them there. So the answers we are supposed to write were A, 2, 0. Now let's come to the second question. Now we have already decided that since 2 comes area before B, since A comes area before B, that means the bigger number will be for B. So which means the x in B, on point B, will be 5. So that will be 5. Now we already said about the value of y where the graph met the x-axis, which is 0. So which means it is going to be 5, 0. So these were the coordinates for A and B respectively. Okay, if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, these were the answers. Let's go to question, the next question, which is 22b2. Okay, so question 22b was find the maximum value of x. So we are asked to find the maximum value of x. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the same equation given there in the graph. So I'm going to write that equation here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this equation. So I'm going to write y is equal to, then I'm going to multiply x multiplied by negative x multiplied by x will give me negative x squared. Then I'm going also to multiply negative x multiplied by negative 5, it will give me 5x. Then I'm going to start now multiplying these in terms in the bracket which is on the right side by 2. So 2 by x will give me 2x, which is plus 2x. Then 2 by negative 5 will give me negative 10. Then I'm going to write y is equal to negative x squared, then 5 plus 2x, 5x plus 2x will give me 7x, which is equal to, it's going to give me 5 plus 2x will give me 7x, then which is going to be negative 10 at the end. Okay, so as you can see, negative x squared and negative 10, I have done nothing to them. I have only added 5x plus 2x. Okay, once I've done that, now I've come up with the equation, the expression there, which is negative x squared plus 7x is minus 10. Okay, negative x squared plus 7 minus plus 7x minus 10. Then what I'm going to do now here, I'm going to write the formula which can help me to find the value of y, and the formula is y is equal to 4ac minus b squared over 4a. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write I'm going to get the values of the letters then that expression in the equation I just found, the one I've underlined in red. Okay, that is the one that's going to help me to find to come up with the values. So basically what is there is a is equal to negative x squared, then b that is 7x, and c that is negative 10. Okay, so where there is a, I'm going to put the coefficient of negative x squared. Okay, and where there is b, I'm going to put 7. Where there is c, I'm going to put negative 10. Okay, so let us start. So I'm going to write 4. Then where there is a, I'm going to get the coefficient of negative x squared, which is 1. So I'm going to multiply by 1. Then where there is c, I'm going to get negative 10. Then minus b squared, that is 7 squared. Okay, then over 4a. So where there is, I'm going to write 4a. Where there is 4, I'm going to put 4. Then when there is a, I'm going to put negative 1, like I explained earlier on. Then next I'm going to deal with a bracket. So I'm going to write 4, which is going to be 4. Then I'm going to multiply negative 1 multiplied by negative 10 will give me positive 10, which I will multiply by 4. Okay, 4 by 10. Okay, minus the product of that minus the square of 7, which is 49. Okay, over then 4 multiplied by negative 1 will give me negative 4. Then I'm going to deal again with the brackets or multiplication first. So I'm going to have 4 by 10 will give me 40 minus 49 over negative 4. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm going to find the difference of 40 and 49, which is 40 minus 49 will give me negative 9, which will be over negative 4. Now here I'm going to get rid of the negative sign, so I'm going to cancel the negative on top and the negative down. So here the secret is whatever you do on top, do it down. That's why I'm able to get rid of the negative sign. What I did on top, that's what I've done down. Okay, then I'm going to remain with 9 over 4. Okay, so 9 over 4 can be an answer if you decide to give that answer in improper fraction form. but you can still go further and write it as a mixed fraction by dividing 9 by 4. So 4 into 9 will give us 2, then remainder 1, which will be 1 over 4. Okay, so you can even give the answer as a mixed fraction. So that is the maximum value of x in that graph. Okay, let's go to question 23. I'm sure that's the last one. Okay, question number 23 was as follows. The diagram below shows the speed time graph of a moving object. So I urge you to pause the video and then look at the graph given. Make sure you take note of the highest speed, the speed where the object started moving, as well as the time given. Okay, you need to take note of that. Okay, once you've done that, then let's come to question 23a. Question 23a, they're asking us to find the acceleration of the object when time is equal to 3. Okay, so first of all, let me give you the formula to find acceleration. So acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity. Okay, that is v for final velocity, and u, that is initial velocity, divided by time. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to write equal to, then here is what you need to understand. They are telling us to find the acceleration of the object when the time is 3 seconds. Now when you look at the graph, there is nowhere 3 seconds is indicated. However, 3 seconds is between 0 and 5 seconds. Okay, 3 seconds is between 0 and 5 seconds. So I can show you that the line blue there is indicating almost the place where 3 seconds should be. Okay, now if that is the case, how can we tell the velocity of this object when also the speed at which the object is moving at 3 seconds is not even shown? So here what you need to understand is this: from 4 to 24 meters per second, from 4 meters per second to 24 meters per second, you can see that the acceleration was constant. Okay, the acceleration was constant. The object was changing the speed at a constant level. So that means we can use any point to find the acceleration of this object. So in this case, we're going to use the starting point and the finishing point where the change in speed changed. Okay, where this acceleration changed. Okay, so what I mean is I'm going to come up with we said what was the final speed, velocity of the object. We are saying it's 24. So I'm going to subtract 4 from 24 because the initial velocity is 4 and the final velocity is 24. So I'm going to subtract 4 from 24. So I'm going to come up with something like this. Okay, I'm going to come up with something like this. The red line there, which is on the slanting line, that one is showing the acceleration there was just constant. The change in velocity was just the same. So I can use any point, just like I've used 24 minus 4. Then the time it took from that point to that point, it is 5 seconds. So it will be over 5 seconds. Okay, once I've done that, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write equal to. So I'm going to subtract that. 24 meters per second minus 4 meters per second will give me 20 meters per second over 5 seconds. Okay, which is equal to, so when I divide 20 meters per second by 5 seconds, it's going to give me 4 meters per second squared. Okay, it's going to give me 4 meters per second squared. So this was the acceleration of the object between 4 meters between that point and the final point. Okay, so this was the acceleration. It was 4 meters per second squared. Let's go to question 23b. Okay, question 23b was given that the object decelerates at negative 2 meters per second squared, find the value of t. Okay, we are asked to find the value of t. So what we need to do is you need to understand that acceleration and deceleration, they have got the same formula. Okay, so the formula for deceleration is d is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity over time. Okay, now first of all, what we need to do here is this. We know that from 0 to 10 seconds, we know the time it took to that point. The time we don't know is from 10 to t. How long did the car take for it to come to a stop when it started deceleration? Okay, so we are going to find first the time it took for it to come to a stop after it started decelerating. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find first the time it took to stop from high speed to that. Then later on we are going to add 10 seconds to the number we're going to find. Okay, however, there is another way which you can also check on our video. We demonstrated on how you can solve this question, so you can check on another video, but this time I'm going to go with this one because it's easier for us to find acceleration and deceleration without confusing ourselves. So we are just going to add 10 to the answer we're going to find at a later stage. So I can say is equal to, so what is decelerate? Is c, negative 2 meters per second squared, which is equal to, so what is the final velocity? The car came to a stop, the final velocity will be 0, and then if the car came to a stop and the speed was 0, then the initial velocity was negative. It was 24 meters per second, so we're going to say minus 24 meters per second, which will be over the time it took. Now we don't know the time, that's what we want to find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write equal to, then negative 2 meters per second squared. Okay, is equal to, so we subtract 0 minus 24 will give us negative 24, which will be divided by t. Okay, time, because I'm not given time. Then I'm going to do cross multiplication, whereby I'm going to multiply negative 2 meters per second squared by t. Then I'm also going to multiply that. Okay, so I'm going to multiply negative 2 meters per second squared times t, as well as negative 24 meters per second multiplied by 1. So if you're wondering where 1 has come from, this one has come from nowhere. We believe that when a whole number is written, you can make it a fraction without it losing its value by putting 1 as its denominator. So that's what I did there. Okay, then I'm going to say is equal to, then I'm going to multiply negative 2 meters per second squared times t, which is going to give us t multiplied by that, and then I'm also going to multiply 1 multiplied by 24 meters per second, negative 24 meters per second, which will give me negative 24 meters per second. Okay, then once I've done that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by a common factor, which is negative 2 meters per second squared. I want to remain with t alone, so that means I have to get rid of those which are with t on the left side of the equal sign. So meaning I'm going to divide that by that, as well as that by this. Okay, then what I'm going to do is now I'm going to I'm going to cancel out. As you can see on t side, we have got a numerator which is the same as the denominator, so this one will cancel and this one will cancel. Then I'm going to remain with equal to t, then I'm going to say equals to, so I'm going to divide 24 meters per second by negative 24 meters per second by negative 2 meters per second squared, which should give me 12 seconds. Okay, so this is the time it took from 10 there to reach where t is. It took 12 seconds. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add 10 to 12. So I'm going to say now to get the final time, because this is just the time of the triangle on the right side. So I want to find the total time for the whole, the trapezium, the rectangle, and the triangle on the right side, the total time it took. So I'm going to add, I'm going to say 10 seconds plus 12 seconds, which will give me 22 seconds. Now that 22 seconds is the time for t there, so you need to write 22 seconds there. So t has the time which is 22 seconds. Okay, let's go to question 23c. Question 23c was as follows: calculate the average speed of the object in the first 10 seconds of the journey. So we asked to find the average speed of the object in the first second of the journey, first 10 seconds of the journey. So when we talk about this, what you need to focus on is this area and this area. So you need to focus on this area, which is A and B. Okay, so that is where they are asking you to know the constant speed the vehicle is moving, the average speed. The average speed, not the constant, but the average speed. Okay, so to find the speed, we use this formula, which is S is equal to distance over time. Okay, so now this is the formula we use. Now let's go and check what is the distance. Are we given the distance? No, we are not given the distance. So we need to find the distance. So with this graph, the way we can find the distance is by identifying these, the name of these shapes which are formed, shape A and shape B. So we look at shape A, that is trapezium, and shape B, that is a rectangle. Okay, so we can find the area of these shapes, and that area will be the distance, okay, covered by the object. So what we can say is, what is the formula to find the area of a trapezium? So the area of a trapezium is equal to find the area of a trapezium, we use the formula which is 1/2 multiplied by A plus B by height. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write 1/2, then we're going to identify A as 4, so that side there, which is 4. Okay, then plus the height, which is this side, which is 24, this on the middle line, which is going up to 24, that is from 5, the line that is on 5 seconds going up, that is 24. So plus 24, which will be multiplied by the height. The height is 0 to 5, so that is 5. Okay, then we are going to work what is in the bracket. So I'm going to say half times 4 plus 24 will give us 28, which will be multiplied by 5. Okay, then 1/2 multiplied by 28, so it's more or less like we divide 28 by 2, which is going to give us 14, which will be multiplied by 5. Then we multiply 14 by 5 will give us 70. Okay, so the area of the trapezium in that graph is 70. Okay, then I come to B, the area marked B, which is that one is a rectangle. The formula for finding the area of a rectangle is L times B. So what is the length? The length is 24. So we're going to say 24 multiplied by what is the width or the breadth, that is 5. because we have got 5 to 10. So when you subtract 5 from 10, we are going to get 5. So it will be 5 multiplied by 5. Then 24 times 5 will give us 120. Okay, now these we can give them units. Now we can say, since the speed and everything written there is in meters, that we can presume that what you have gotten is in meters. So we can say 70 meters plus 120 meters will give us 190 meters. So this is the distance that the object covered in 10 seconds. It covered 190 meters. So I'm going to go back to the formula for speed, which is s is equal to d over time. Then we're going to say equal to, so what is the distance now? We have found the distance is 190 meters, which will be over, what is the time? We're told is 10 seconds. Okay, so we are going to divide 190 meters divided by 10 seconds. So 0 down and 0 on top will cancel each other, remaining with 19 on top and 1 down. So we're going to say 19 divided by 1, or 1 into 19 will give us 19, which will be 19 meters per second. So the average speed of the object was 19 meters per second. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Please remember to like our page, also to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our page on Facebook. And also remember to comment where you didn't understand properly, as well as leave the recommendation in the comments. We really appreciate to see if you enjoyed the video or you have some areas where you need us to improve. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. It has been easy learning Z Mathematics. The future is bright. See you in the next video, and God bless you.